Alright, hello gamers, welcome back to the show. I'm your charming, self-proclaimed, yet still humble host, Mukluk. Today is Guild Wars Tuesday. So today I'm coming back to you from the wonderful world of Tyria. I'm currently on the EU servers, going to be playing across the pond during the morning stream, and I'll be back on the NA servers later today. Hope you guys doing good so far. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Eclipse with the super chat. Thank you, Eclipse. Appreciate the support. Good morning, Rajani. I see you. Nixter, hello. This is going to be a nice break from learning about World Wars II crimes in a documentary. What? I mean, okay, that's how you start your Tuesday mornings? Goodness. Axie says, does anyone know how much Dagger Condi Daredevil should do in the Golem room? No idea. If I were trying to get that information, I would go to Snowcrows and check the benchmark section and see if they've got a entry for that. Oh, wait, and then there was a follow-up post that says Snowcrows does have a bench at 46k, but I can't get close, and there's no log or video, so I was wondering if anyone had human numbers. Typically, if they have a post for something, if I'm able to get 75% of whatever they show in their video, I feel like I'm doing a good job. But yeah, I don't know that build. I haven't played that one. Mug, is Days Gone finished? Yep, those days are gone. Yes, I finished Days Gone yesterday. We saved the girl, we killed the mans, we squished some zombies, and then there was a little bit of a cliffhanger, and then I found out they never made a follow-up game. Hey Mike, I'm trying your Quick Untamed, it's a blast. Any recommendations if I want to be fully ranged? I know I'll give up Mace's utility, so still curious. Fully ranged? I mean, power weapons that are ranged would basically be like main hand axe and longbow. Spear is also ranged, but the hardest hitting abilities for it are melee. So I guess like longbow, axe, warhorn, or something like that, or longbow, axe if you want to be fully ranged. You would sacrifice a bit of damage to gain that range though. Can you still get the new Fractal Legendary after the event? Yes. The event is right here. In Cursive Investigation is the Legendary. That's right there. Fractal Incursion is the time-limited one. Fractal Incursion includes a lot of bonus loot, such as 2 bag slots, and also a Legendary Weapon Starter Key. This stuff is limited time, but this is forever. You could also do double longbow. Yeah. Yeah, you could do double longbow as well. Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers it would do, but yeah. Most of the time you wouldn't want to use 2 of the same weapon, because like, if you have 2 hammers, if you use hammer 2 and then swap to the other hammer, hammer 2 is still on cooldown. Like, it doesn't reset the cooldowns when you swap to the other one. But longbow ambush reduces the cooldown of all longbow skills, so it might work with longbows. Do we know how we will get dust after the event ends? I would assume that the beta is still going to keep going, because most of the dust comes from doing tier 1 fractals with the quick play beta. So that's what I would guess is going to be, is going to happen. Rajani says, technically I didn't start the documentary today. I started a few days ago, but I'm having to watch and listen in chunks because good lord. Is this for a class or something? Or are you just interested? Hey, Mugga Chat. Hi, Monemic. Okay. Well, let's get started by getting all that free money. And then I plan to finish getting my legendary gloves and record it so that Noxxi and I can make a guide on how to get those for people who want it in the future. Why do Eternal Forge Masters get a colored title but Envoy do not? No clue. I never really look at people's titles. No, I just like history. Mom always said the only way to waste a day was by not learning something. Does like learning new rotations in Guild Wars 2 help? Does that count? Is there an infinite achievement that rewards Fractal and Dust? So you can keep getting Dust via quick play? Morning Mug Chat. Hi Jaya. Need the crystal for the other weights and the infusions. Miss Stranger has some really interesting dialogue.
How are you?
Yeah, literally, I played Guild Wars 2 and streamed it for 60 hours last week. Monday was the day that I played something not Guild Wars 2. And immediately someone pops in the chat, "Oh, Mark, it's so crazy finding out the Mist Stranger's actually blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, are you serious? The first morning I'm not on Guild Wars 2 in the last week, you come in here and spoil stuff for me? And they're like, "Oh, my bad." So yeah, I know. Never mind then. Yep. Let's see. I did a tier 1 sub earlier in the month with the sub discount. Now it's saying I can only have a tier sub or update payment. I wanted to use my Prime, but it's not even though an option now. I'm so confused. If your sub completely runs out, you should be able to use your Prime, assuming it's available. That's usually what I hear from folks. You missed my question? Oh, sorry, what's up? If I'm untamed using longbow and greatsword, am I screwing other players when I group up? No. I mean, that would be lower, like a little bit lower damage than the average untamed power build, but it would be functional. So I would not say that you're screwing other players up in any way, unless you were using longbow 4 and knocking mobs away while people are trying to kill them. But unless you're doing that, you're not screwing other people up in any way, no. Cool thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. Look how many plushies are bought. I don't know. Let me tab out. 237. I got 7 days remaining before that closes. Yeah, if anyone is interested in the plushy little guy on the right-hand side of the screen, he's available for 7 more days. And then he is gone. And it does have worldwide shipping. Now let me swap to this build, get a little bit of quickness. Alright, that guild hall is donezo. Good morning, happy Guild Wars Tuesday. To you as well, Bob Soji. Welcome. Let's see, Mandar says, I did a tier 1 for the discount a few weeks ago. Wanted to do my Prime since it's saying I'm not subbed anymore, but it's not an option. Weird. 35 days left of the expansion. Yep. And a lot of those are going to be spooky days, because October. How y'all doing? What's up, Internet? Do you guys still get the Windows Defender notification when you launch Guild Wars 2? I get an admin pop-up when I launch Guild Wars 2, not Windows Defender. But that's because I run Guild Wars 2 as an administrator, because I need to for it to play nice with my streaming software. Hey Mark, my boyfriend and I oh my gosh, look at this person showing off their boyfriend. I finally finished Corteria and Living World 1 and 2. We wanted to start doing Hot, but it requires us to do Mastery leveling. What is the best way to get XP? For Heart of Thorns, typically metas, in my opinion. Like, just find, you know, any map meta that's going on and join that, and those typically give a huge chunk of XP. Reminder that you can get, like, the buff from a guild hall or from, like, a booster to increase XP gain to shorten how long it's going to take. You could also, like, if you're, for example, if you're in Verdant Brink for the first time and you need some Mastery XP, you could just work on opening up the map. Just work on, you know, doing map completion.
20 Mukluk Dennis.
Hey, X4, thank you. And just getting the map filled in, and then metas whenever you can join in one. Muk, how are you very good on Silksong with KBM? I found it hard to do a downward attack. I don't know that I'm very good.
Hey at Mukluk, where can I find your link to buy the expansion? Do I have to disable ad block?
Hello, Oxo. My referral link is right here. I'm putting it in the chat. And yeah, basically the way their referral links work is using cookies. So as long as you're not blocking cookies, you just use that link and then purchase whatever, and it supports this channel, and I thank you for it. But if you have any fear that you've got a cookie blocker, then yeah, you could just disable ad block for a moment when you use that. Yeah, I mean, if I could magically change it, it would be nice to have one that's just like, you know, use code Mukluk at checkout. However, you know, this is what they gave me, and I'm very appreciative for that, but that is how it works. I've been cracking on the Prismatic Champions Regalia so far. Most of the things I need to do are resource gathering ones. Yeah, that happens. Let's see. Maverick says, I'm more hyped for fixes of quality of life stuff for the X-Pack than much else. Oh, yeah? Is meta the orange events? So each map meta, when it happens, it's typically a bunch of small events that keep leading to another event, then another event, then another event, and then some huge event, maybe like a massive boss. But because it's like event after event after event, and then a huge one, it's usually a lot of XP. Why can't I collect resources in different guilds? So guilds have many upgrades to them, and one is called synthesis output. And the resources, hang on a second, I'm gonna pick this up. This right here. So there's synthesis output 0, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. If you're in multiple guilds that are all max level and they've all got synthesis output 4, they're sharing a cooldown. But one of my guild halls is level 4, one is level 3, one is level 2, one is level 1, and you could even get one that's level 0. So that's it. Basically, 2 guild halls that with the same level of upgrades will share cooldown for the nodes. But if they're different level, you can farm more than one. But commonly, when people are in multiple guilds, both of their guilds are max level because the game has been out so long, and so they farm one and it farms both. How hard is it to level up a guild to have a guild bank? Just to get the guild bank? I mean, it'll take a little bit of time. But I know people who have done it, so I know it's possible, but I don't have like an exact time frame for you. Does the output change the output? Yes. So output level 0 is a guild hall with no upgrades in the amount of stuff that you get. So like when I farm the level 2 and the level 3, I get less stuff than when I farm the level 4. But I'm getting more stuff than someone who's not farming multiple maps at all, you know? And that one. Okay. Alright, now for the characters that are part. Let's go over here, and... Oh, I did that on muscle memory. That was not... I already did this. NPCs will talk about events occurring. There will often be a commander or mentor tags on the minimap. You'll see big gatherings of players. Yes. Yep, all that's true. Okay. So is Spooky Game Month coming? Will Hades 2 start before October or after the VOE launch? Probably after VOE, I would guess. But we'll see. Like, we just finished Days Gone, so I'm gonna need something for the morning stream. Okay, I guess I can't open that right now. Hang on a second. Dude, what? Okay. Guy's like bugging out a bit. A lot of attacks were not hitting him. Alright. Mike, do you know where on Twitch I could maybe handle the Twitch sub issue? I've been looking all on Twitch, and it's looking to be a Twitch issue, not a Prime issue. I mean, I don't know. You're the first person who's come to me with that issue. I do not know how to fix it. You know, common things would be like you could try a different browser. If your sub just ran out, you could wait a day and see if that gets their system to realize that, you know, it's time to update it, stuff like that. But I don't have, like, a magic snap my fingers thing for that one. Greetings, Lorded Peasants. Lord Sonics has arrived. Sub Sonics. I'd pay a solid 5 and a crisp high 5 for Hades to be on the morning stream. I could make those easier. Internet Spider says, wondering about something. How important are healers? I'm slowly getting good at playing Guardian. Healers are very, very much used in higher end PvE content and occasionally in PvP. Like if you're doing fractals or strikes or raids, you'll usually have a healer or two in your group. Good day, Muck. Hi, Jersey. Probably have answered before, but how did you decide on maining Ranger? Is it just purely based on utility? It's the moveset, basically, and then also the, you know, I like having the pet. Because if you think about, like, okay, what makes the classes different as far as, like, you know, what's up here, right? Like, Warrior has an adrenaline bar. That bores me. Thief has initiative and the steal button. Ranger has the pet. Guardian has their 3 virtues, stuff like that. The Ranger pet is one of my favorite things among those mechanics. Muck, does Asura give you an advantage in PvP for being harder to see? Mostly no. There is a setting you can turn on in the options called standardized character models, where everyone looks like a human. And it's to make it fair so that you don't have someone like an Asura hiding behind a Char or something. So if you're playing a player that doesn't have standardized models on, it is possible for that Asura to hide behind a Char or a Norn, and then you don't see it for like an extra second, and then, you know, that might give them a small edge. But many of like the high-end PvPers would not be fooled by that because they wouldn't. They would see you as a human anyway.
The dragon's corruption seeps back into this glade.
Or have Asura hide under Big Hat. Also good, yes. Which is the hardest Leggy backpack to get? I would say Warbringer from World v World is the most time-consuming. Now, that doesn't mean hard, like, difficult, but hard, like, investment of time. I think it takes longer to get Warbringer than any of the others. Just because it takes just many, 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 many hours in World v World to get it. Morning Muck here for my men's therapy session. Ta! I understand that reference. What's up, Maddie? By the way, Muck, good morning. Hello, Master Liu. Cat2Play says, hey, Muck, first of all, thanks for dedication to the game. It's great to see how much you've done for the community. And question, how long does one season for the Wizard Vault go? I've seen different answers online. They're yearly quarters, so each one is roughly 3 months. So, there's 4 major updates to it each year. However, you can also see the countdown for it if we log into the game. Hang on just a second, as soon as this loads in. Alright, so if I go to Wizard's Vault and go to Special tab, there's 35 days remaining. That's the countdown till the next big update for the Vault. But roughly, the whole Vault's updated like 4 times a year. But yeah, going back to the Leggy Backpack, like, there's the Fractals one, there's PvP, there's World v World, and then there's the new one that's open world. The new one has the most steps that you can basically skip by just throwing money at it. So that means that if you're throwing gold at the problem, Orax, the PvE one, is the most expensive one. The others are mostly limited by time. Like the World v World one needs a million tickets, and you can only get a certain amount of tickets each week. So one, you have to earn those tickets each week, and then two, it takes a lot of weeks to get all of the tickets you need for it. But if you enjoy World v World, it probably seems easy because you just play in World v World. You're not really doing anything out of the ordinary. I'll try to sign out and use a new browser. Wish me luck. Understood. Why do you like Asuras so much? In almost any fantasy game, if there is a non-human option, I like to play that. And I just think Asuras have fun animations. They're just funny little dudes. If Asuras didn't exist in this game, the next most non-human thing would probably be Char, so I'd probably play Char. But like in EverQuest, which I played for 7 years, I played a troll, which was like a big 7-foot tall creature with regeneration, and always stood out in groups because I was usually like 2 heads taller than everybody else. But yeah, I just I like the weird races. Like, to me, humans are humans, Norns are just big humans. Salads are interesting because there's no other game I played where I could play a plant person. However, when they're in full armor, they also look like humans. So to me, Char and the Asura stand out more, so I like those more. Okay. Alright, done with our free stuff. Let's hop over to Lion's Arch. Hey Muk, I've enjoyed the quick play Fractals, and I'm wondering how to move on to more difficult ones. What's up, Amos? So first off, I do have a video on this. Let me link this right here. I'll try to give you the TLDR, but if any of this doesn't make sense, then please watch that video. So, essentially, what you need is agony resistance. When you go into Fractals, any mechanics that hit you will do more damage if the agony resistance of your character is not high enough. So I'm gonna click on. Wait, what?
Proceeds apace with resolution in the mists.
Hold on.
A welcome victory draws close, hero. Those of us here will lend what assistance we can.
Okay. Alright, so, in answer to your question. If I look at a random fractal, here's tier 2, level 42. That tooltip that's by my mouse cursor, the top right of it, it says 47. That's 47 agony resistance needed in order to not take bonus damage if you get hit. Now, you can go in there with less than 47, but that means that if you get hit, it's gonna really muck and hurt. And the bigger the difference in your agony resistance versus that, the worse it's going to hurt. So how do you get agony resistance? Well, first off, your agony resistance is right here. I have 148 right this second. And basically any piece of gear that is ascended or higher, and rarely exotic, right, there's sockets on it. And in those infusion sockets, you put agony resistance. And if you have a +9 in every slot, you'll be able to do every single fractal in the game. So typically people have a goal of getting 9 in everything. So like right here, I'll just, put a... I don't know why these are separate slots. So there's a +9 and a +9. And there's a +9. And there's a +9. Now I'm at 166. So once you get enough agony resistance for whatever you want to do, you just go in there and do it. It'll be like tier 1 X.
Congratulations to you, hero.
Are you freaking serious?
The tremors now subside into ripples, and the danger from the mists recedes. This piece is the product of your effort. And that of the comrades who joined you. Allow me to name myself among them. I am Raza, born of the mists. In worlds and times beyond this, I will be your ally.
I always welcome new allies.
That is... We will doubtless meet again. Until then, may the mists favor your path.
Why is his back to me this whole time? Alright, well, I was gonna record this not in the middle of a conversation, but I guess I got the legendary gloves. Shit. Yay! Okay, hang on, let me play this, let me replay this alert. I hit the skip button because he was talking.
Thanks for the great content, Muck.
You're very welcome, Necro. Thank you for the support. That's the leaks? Yeah, someone told me yesterday. Or Stranger No More. You could still act surprised. I mean, I was kind of annoyed with him because he kept talking when I was just trying to explain agony resistance, so he picked a bad time for it. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so you get gear that has infusion slots, and you put agony resist infusions in the gear, and then that allows you to do higher level fractals. Tier 2, 3, and 4 are going to do the same stuff that Tier 1 did, but there'll be more damage, and there might be more mechanics. So, you know, like fractals at Tier 4 have more mechanics than fractals at Tier 1, but you know, I don't know exactly when the new mechanics kick in. It's going to depend on each fractal.
Make it quick.
So, that's the gist of it. Can't believe I have Leggy Gloves and 75% ascended on an account that's less than 2 weeks old. Don't know how I feel about that. Lol. I wonder if when they made the Miss Stranger years ago, if they had the Razah thing planned out, because he didn't have voice acting then. Like, I think it's entirely possible that just recently they were like, you know, we could just make this Razah and it would work out really well. Like, I could totally see that. Let's see. Thanks for coming to the aid of Miss Interia. I will assist any way I can. Is there any way I can get another set of gloves? For an artifact of the fractals, the possibility of an alternate form is there. However, it may require a much greater outlay of materials to create the needed conditions. Show me what you have in mind.
Want something?
200 icy runestones, 1 fractaline spark, and 2 gifts of magical prosperity. Hang on. Gift of magical prosperity is Gift of Research, 9 Mystic Clovers, Gift of Condensed Magic, and Gift of Craftsmanship. Gift of Craftsmanship is 50 Provisioners tokens. 1 is Mighty. Oh. Okay, so Condensed Might for this one. Okay. Alright, so let's check this out. So we got these gloves. Double click to open.
Hello. I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
Diet soda, of course. Thank you, Synthdrill. Okay, so we pick light, medium, or heavy. So preview one of these, that's what it looks like right there. And yes, I'll take that one. So there's that. Add to armory. A mysterious pair of gloves that seek to hold the very essence of the worlds between. Open your hands and harness the energies of a deteriorating fractal to bring that destruction to your foes. Items unlocked in your legendary armory are available for all of your characters. They can be found in the equipment tab of your hero panel along with all of your other equipment. Alright. So... let's see, so that's Burrs and fireworks. Alright. So if I do that... Burrs. Fireworks. Alright. So, now we got this thing. Alright, so it's got, like a pink glow on the back of the hands by default. That does not show here. Hold on, is that because of the infusion? Remove infusion. No, that's just standard. Okay. So if I unsheath my weapon... It's got a pink glow in the middle of the handle? Alright, what if I weapon swap?
Under better circumstances. Have we met before?
Okay, both of them just have some glow on the handle.
My name is Saya, but
Odd.
you might remember me as Simon. Well, now I remember. We pulled some survivors out of the rubble together.
Okay.
Seeing so many die in those weeks. It made me
Alright.
realize how important it is.
I noticed the pink glow is no longer on the gloves when I unsheath that weapon, and now it goes back into the gloves. Okay. Does it persist if you transmog them? I'm guessing no, but I'll check. No. No glow. Okay.
Want something?
Alright, so next up... Alright. So, if you get this stuff, alters the energy color of the left Acacia Mistgrasper's hand, or the right one. Only change one or the other. Well, hold on. So these things, do they have to be in your, the gloves, or can they be in any piece of gear? Like, could you have green left glove in your backpack and green right glove in your glove?
What?
I think they could be in any piece. Okay, so let's do this. I have 2 infinite Omni potions. I have one that I got from hard work and one that was given to me because, you know, millennial. And let's see, that's the extra one right there, and then I've got that one. So I am going to sell the extra one and get a Fractaline Spark. Okay, so I've got a Spark. So now, I'm probably not going to use any of these, so I'm just going to pick one. 10 gold, 30 ecto, and a spark. And... just going to get that. Alright. So, is that vanishing? Oh, shoot! I thought... I should have read that more carefully. You know what, chat? I thought that that was going to be a white glow. I got vanishing one, which hides it. I should have gotten a different color. I was like, oh, that one's white. That sounds fun. Nope. Oh well. Let's see. So, let's do... if I do this... you still see the pink flash when you unsheath. Okay. Left is the unsheath, right is the weapon effect. Huh? Hang on.
I'm listening.
Alters the color of the left hand, alters the color of the right hand. What do you mean left is unsheath, right is weapon effect? Can you explain how to get the other weights for the gloves? Yeah, after you get the first set of gloves, talk to this guy and say, click, is there any way to get another set? And he opens a merchant window, and then just, you buy it right there. On 2-hand weapons, 1 is for the unsheath and 1 is for the tip. There's a repeatable quest for 150 dust. Yeah.
Make it quick.
Alright, so we've got a bunch of additional things here.
The Legion calls.
So this is get more dust to get another spark. Quick play. Stabilize the classics. 3 the incursions in open world. Quick play with a guildmate. Stabilize outside the lines. Travel to key locations to prepare for major metas. Wait, is this literally just like walk there? Defeat triple trouble. Oh god. Recover lost troubleshooter badges in more areas. I'm wondering if I should try to get another one of these just to be able to have more visuals for the, for the guide. You need to waypoint to the places before the meta starts them to count. Let's see. Mug definitely doesn't play Fractals that much. I already have every achievement except Triple Trouble. Wait, Muck definitely doesn't play Fractals that much. I did like 60 last week. But you're right. Since yesterday, I've been a deadbeat, yes. If you change the stats and change armor sets, does it save the different stats on the equipment template too? What change armor sets? So any time that you unequip a legendary, it will you'll have to select the stats again. Muck, are you feeling deflated after getting this? Deflated? No. I wished that I was done. I was not planning on getting more sparks, but I accidentally picked one that I thought was the color white, and it wasn't. It was invisible. So I don't have a visual aid for the guide, so I'm gonna have to do another one. That one's in combat, so I gotta run over there. Is it worth it to finish the Omni Potion? I need the speed one, but all it gives is a spark. If the Omni Potion from the Wizard Vault was your first Omni Potion ever, freaking keep that thing. Do not turn that in for a spark. Because getting one in the old-fashioned way is extremely time-consuming, like hundreds of hours. Okay, there we go. 5 dust. Alright. What is this? Cliffside, Deepstone, and Kinfall have badges. Alright. How was the grind for the new wrist armor Leggy? It's not bad at all. It's easier than every other Leggy in the game. For me, though, it's like my 5th set of legendary gloves or something, so I'm just kind of having to force myself to do it just because I wanted to make a guide for it. Let's see. Okay. Let's go back over here. Do the gloves have any effects like with raid gloves? Caffeinated Dad on YouTube has a video that shows how it works, but basically they have a glow, yes, and then you can put infusions in the gloves to change the color of the glow. It's really weird that the glow for this one is in the middle of the handle. I wonder if that's just a that weapon thing, or if that's just like all hammers have that issue. Alright. I thought I was done with this. Let's get this over with. How are the plushie sales going? 237. We're at 237. So it is, it's fully funded. At this point now, is just, you know, anyone else who wants to pick one up over the next 7 days is able to. And it is going to happen. Atmuk, that's a weapon thing. My maces and hammers all have a glowy spike at the top. 6 skin, 6 tests, all different from Mux glows. Awesome. So my maces of choice and my hammer of choice have the worst graphic with the infusion in the game. Good to know. Is next a plushie of your head? Probably not. Do you keep extra plushies for yourself for a giveaway? I get the prototype plushie for free, but beyond that, I would have to buy them. So buying a handful of plushies is not usually within my budget. But there was a couple of people, I believe, that bought plushies and then just gifted them to me. Like they sent them to my P.O. box so that I could use them for giveaway later. So I might have some to ship out in the future. Is it worth it to get the Omni Potion just to trade it for a Spark? If there is nothing else that is better for you for the for using your Astral Acclaim, you can. So it kind of depends on if there's any other Astral Acclaim stuff there that you need. Trying to remember, what were the 3 new places? Cliffside, Deepstone, and Kinfall. What's your least favorite meta in the whole game? My least favorite meta? I don't know. I mean, there's a meta in almost every zone in the game, right? So there's going to be some that are more popular than others. And I typically just do my favorites and I don't really think about the others. Like, I would say most of the ones in Path of Fire I don't do regularly. Verdant Brink one I don't do that often because I think it's just kind of a pain. Octavine I really like just because it's a lot of dopamine, getting to open like 30 treasure chests at the end of it. Drizzlewood? Drizzlewood's fine. I have a indifferent opinion on Drizzlewood.
We'll take everything from you, even your lives. You are nothing compared to Jorman.
30 chests, no infusion. Oh, I got the infusion once.
Kneel before the might of dragon, or be destroyed.
There, Fractal Steel. Let me know when you're ready to go. Statistically speaking, the next Fractal must be warmer.
Alright. One down. I have a love relationship with Shock. Love-hate relationship with Shock. A 10-minute stare at wall. Yeah. How many hours to farm Orax for poor people? It depends. For example, one of the things for Orax is to cook a stack of a meal, and the recipe for that meal comes from a merchant that only sells it some days of the month. So if you have to wait a month to get that recipe, that's going to take you a lot longer than if you already have it. And then, of course, the trade-off is just buying it from somebody else. Not the recipe, the cooked goods. Muck, is Untamed your favorite elite spec for Ranger? It's my favorite DPS spec to play, period, right now. For Ranger, I very much like Druid as well. Don't really care about Soul Beast. What's your build? Do exclamation mark build.
Hello? Can you hear me?
If you do exclamation mark build, there will be a link for my Ranger, and you can inspect me and copy whatever you want.
Seems you have an ally. Is that Lion Guard armor? What's happening in there?
If Ranger was deleted, what would you main? My second most played is Necromancer, and after that is Engineer, and then the other 6 I don't play much. Oh nice, someone ported to the end.
Now that's just excessive.
I love to play Rev, but his most fun ranged option, the short bow, isn't very good for power setups. Yeah, Rev has a hammer for ranged power options. If they deleted Ranger, Muck could live his Weaver dreams. His Weaver dreams? Okay. The Soul Beast 2-hand bow and big sword still viable. Big sword. Longbow plus greatsword is very good in PvP and open world. In like grouped high-end content, there are better choices, but it's fine there.
Let's see what this does.
I like how we're almost done with this Fractal and it's still playing the soundtrack from Lion's Arch right now.
This is a sterile research environment. Leave at once.
Very well. I have ways of dealing with contaminants.
You're vandalizing precious equipment. Why don't you play with live wire? Time to amplify the power. Fry!
Started playing more Power Ranger on tape lately. Sword is very enjoyable. Nice.
You think you've won? You've won nothing! Tremble and cry as I unleash my greatest...
What?
Have I mentioned?
There we go. Mike, does Blish crash on patches? No. Nope. Blish is an overlay, not an add-on. Blish HUD has never crashed my game in years of using it, whereas Arc DPS crashes my game like after every other patch. Do we have any updates or news coming today to the game? None that I know of. You can finish the legendary Fractal gloves as of yesterday, so that's a thing.
Halloween is coming up. Plan on doing something spooky, MuklukYoutube.
We have made a list of spooky games to play during October. So from October 1st until like the 28th, which is when Visions of Eternity comes out, on non-Guild Wars 2 days, we're going to be playing a lot of spooky games that chat voted on. Got a whole ton of them. Some of them are only just like an hour long, and others are, you know, like days long.
But it feels warm. Well, it should be enough to protect you from the ice magic here.
Chat, y'all know where the badge is in here?
I'm picking up a
I just got the achievement that says that there's a badge in here somewhere.
It's not real, but by telling my sense of that.
Wait. Don't leave her behind. She cried out for you, but her voice was so faint. Even I could barely hear her down in the dark.
Near the end by the last door. Okay. Mike, how is your depression doing? I had no depression until I realized that I didn't buy a white infusion. I bought an invisible infusion. Then I gained depression.
One of you will have to sacrifice that protected energy. That'll leave you vulnerable, so hurry.
Her life fire frightens my ice brood. Why not surrender it all, as she did? Find peace with us, as she had.
This fractal should represent a real place, but it's not quite right. Incomplete, or half-remembered. That's it! There's a temporal echo of someone here, and this is their perspective. You must be in their
Did they fix the new gloves?
So
Yeah.
try to let them speak through. We might get some context clues.
Go, make for the pass.
Oh,
If
I think I just saw it.
reaches the others, enough it will be.
Don't poison your bearkin against me.
Got it.
I understand your rage, your fear. I've mourned my own family and my mother.
Alright, final boss. Where do I exchange the Omni Potion for the Spark?
To me, instead of driving them away.
Shut up. The Mist Stranger and Lion's Arch, after you have completed the thing to get the gloves, they get a merchant option, and then you can, in that merchant window, you can get the Spark. Non-lethal! Muck's scared of schizo thought. No, I've just heard it 1,000 times. I'll unmute it next time we do Dragon Stand, so that we can hear. We got it! Can I exchange the Ascended Omni Potion? No, you just exchange the exotic one from the Wizard's Vault. Muck, have you done the CM of Kinfall? You know what? I actually don't remember if I have. I think I might not have. Or I may have done it once. I don't know. I probably have to check the achievements. I know the CM of it. It's basically like the move where you need to be in the air for the ground explosion or on the ground for the air explosion. It's lethal if you mess it up. So I think I might have done it one time. $93. Muck, what was your thoughts on the Janther Wilds ending? If you, I have a video where I talked about it with, Loranity for like an hour. If you're interested in that, it's on my YouTube channel. As far as my thoughts on the ending, it was fine. Like, they had the trailer about us going into the, what was it called? Like the Titan Foundry or whatever. I definitely thought we were going to be in there for more than we were. Because we kind of went in there, beat up 3 white mantle spirits, and then left. Like, even Laura was like, no, I want to stay, I want to look around. You know, it was just like a really, really quick visit. My feedback on the story was that the same as like with Soto, that they don't need to keep killing bosses in the same content patch that they introduced them, you know? Like, Joko was around for a long time. And then they, Why is this not working? Joko was around for a long time before we finally took him down. And I think it's kind of becoming like a bad habit of the current writers that they introduce something and then kill it. It's like they feel like they constantly need to wrap everything up with a bow. They don't like leave any breadcrumbs for the next thing. Antagonist tourists? Yeah. You are in quick play queue. I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Alright, let me try relogging. We saved the world, right? Always saving the world. What skin is the maces and hammer you're using? Yeah, Raid Wing 4. They're from Raid Wing 4. It's like, that's the hammer, and those are the maces. Alright, let's try this again. I don't know if it's broken. It's broke. Muck, how do you feel about the theory that Aurene is hiding on Castora and that's why the inquests are going there? First time I've heard that theory. That'd be kind of interesting. That's why you don't play on EU servers. This is my punishment. Didn't ANET add a 2-minute cooldown to switching quick play parties? I didn't switch parties. I finished one and I tried to queue for another and it didn't work. Good time to do the 3 you need outside quick play. Every time I hear the word inquest, I think that they're finally killing Timmy. What do you mean, finally? You could have said, if you didn't have the word finally there, you'd be like, oh no, they're gonna kill Timmy. But when you had finally, it changes the whole vibe of that sentence. Better theory mod. Crucible of Eternity is in Mount Maelstrom. That zone used to have an inactive portal in the southeast corner. Beneath that zone on the map was a bunch of islands. Maybe you got a party for a split second, it got disbanded, somehow counting you for a 2-minute cooldown. I don't know, maybe. Hey, I follow your guides and videos on YouTube, and I'd like to thank you directly. Hello, Nolda! Thank you for the kind words. I'm glad you like my stuff. I didn't mean it like that. I love timing, but I know her time is limited. Honestly, at this point, I would be surprised if they ever killed her. And for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, when we first met Timmy, she said that she had a lethal degenerative disease. And it just seems like they forgot about that. I know in Living World Season 4, she said it was flaring up again and getting worse. And then she got, like, mechanical crutches from the Jade Tech in End of Dragons to assist with her walking, because her legs got worse. But other than that, it's just like, she's like, I'm fine now. Didn't they find a cure? No. I mean, maybe if we knew, like, a dragon with an aspect of healing or something. But, I mean, where are we going to find one of those? He reads YouTube chat, we're just neglected. You are not neglected. Am I gonna have to just close my game? What is going on right now? Alright, hang on. One sec, it's closing. That was your Windows, not mine. Are fractals a good way to make money? Yes. Tier 4 fractals are extremely profitable. There are a few perks to being the neglected chat. We regularly throw parties when Muck isn't looking. Oh my gosh. Blish never crashes my game. Explain this then. This isn't Blish. That issue we just had was the quick play thing, like, you know, sinking its claws in me and not letting go. That was a whole different thing. There, it's working again. If Timey changes the lead spec from Mechanist to Amalgam, maybe she'll be fine. You don't need bones if you're a liquid metal thingy. How do you swim so fast? I probably have a minor swim speed infusion on this character, but don't think it's anything too crazy. Increase swim speed by 15% plus a count bonus. Are we missing game audio? I turned dialogue down because of Jormag was like screaming in our ear earlier.
Sakived raided my stream with 68 viewers.
Sakived? Sakaved, thank you. SakeVT. Appreciate the raid. Thank you very much. Oh my god, what is this copy pasta? The dragon has come for your snackies. Hand them over. Oh my gosh. I'm a bit low on snackies, so I think like we can each have one cereal. Appreciate the raid. Thank you very much. MuklukYoutube, Bartholomew, Reginald Esquire the Fourth, this is John Van Stuffles the Third, welcomes all of you to the lab. Hope you enjoy your entertainment is on the way. Cricket the speakers, don't touch the speakers, giveaways every week. Please take a seat, but you'll only need the edge. Welcome. We just finished getting the legendary gloves from the new Fractal event, and we are currently working on getting the colored infusion things, just so we can make a guide on how to do it for people that desire it in the future. So we are doing quick play fractals repeatedly to get colored lights on our weapons. What if Timey switches to Amalgam, dies anyway, but her Amalgam ooze starts thinking it's Timey and starts acting like her? I mean, that just sounds like good writing to me. I mean, honestly, that's not too different from Blish, right? Blish is like a copy pasta of the original Blish's consciousness in a machine. I don't think they moved the brain into that machine, so it's basically a clone, but mechanically. Spoilers? I mean, it's a spoiler of when you meet the guy. You could change the potion for the Fractaline Spark for color infusion. Yes. Yeah, I picked the wrong one, but yes, you can. Will there be a way to get colored lights after the event? Yes, the stuff related to that is staying. But you can get the stuff faster during the event because of the bonus rewards. Still wondering when we're getting a direct miss expansion. Why, do we need Ritlock to let more bad guys out of hell? Splat. 98 out of 150. Let's see. It would have been better off Soto was just Miss nonsense instead of extremely unethical Illuminati. Okay, I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I feel like the first half of Soto was really, really good. Story-wise, just talking about story. And then when the post-Ceres, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball. Like the beginning of Soto, when Ceres is coming after you and you're like, oh, you're army crawling away and you're like, oh my god, he's gonna fucking kill me. Like, I thought they did a really good job there. Like, okay, that thing is terrifying. He's got aura, he's got good energy. And I was like, okay. And then, like, all the stuff, dude, this one again? All the stuff with Patha and Epark, and it was just like, ugh. He beat me to it. Sarah's introduction was fun. I wish they'd make a separate expansion for the Cryptus conflict, expand upon it, definitely don't make them into they're just like people. I agree with that. Like, one thing that kind of drove me bonkers a little bit was at the end of the Soto thing, the whole thing was like that the demons and the wizards have been fighting for like thousands of years or something, right? So they have a long history of like, oh, well, you know, demons killed my grandfather, demons killed my mom, you know, so on and stuff. So they should have a lot of hate for each other. And at the end of Soto, there was like children having a pool party and the demons were invited and the demons were like swimming in the pool party outside of the wizard's tower with the wizard's children. And I was like, there is no fucking way that two factions that have been at war for this long, and part of it's because demons eat kids, we're going to have a pool party afterward. And I'm like, you are out of your damn mind. You can't hate a pool party. I don't know. I feel like the demons kind of oozy. They'd probably like mess up the water anyway. That wasn't a pool party. The demons were making soup. Are you saying demons can't have a pool party? I am not saying that. I'm saying demons can't have a pool party with children that they were eating the day before. Hey, Monkey Chat, I got us. We let the Flame Legion, the guys who showed zero remorse for the searing at the... Okay, well, hold on. The searing was hundreds of years ago. So, I don't think it's fair to, like, charge current Flame Legion with current Flame Legion crimes. Totally fair. Don't be, you know, picking on the Flame Legion for something that they're, like, you know, 10 dads back did. Let's see. ANET dragged out the Dragon Saga for some time. The players want something new in some way, but I know that it would continue somehow. Maybe it would just say something. The friendly, spiky, spiny demons that were enemies up to the end of Soto. Oh yeah, the Cryptus, yeah. Who's eating children? So the whole, one of the big things that reasons we were trying to stop the demons in Secrets of the Obscure, which are called Cryptus, is that they eat people. And then like halfway through, there was this one group, they're like, oh, we're good demons. And I'm like, yeah, but you're still demons. And they're like, oh, but we don't eat people. And I'm like, I thought you had to eat people. They're like, no, we just like to. And I was like, okay, so you guys could just choose to not do that? And they're like, yeah, we won't do anymore, we promise. And we're like, all right. We're still gonna kill those other demons, though. And they're like, yeah, you should totally do that. They know better now? Yes. They got a stern reprimand and a smack on the back of the hand. They say while chewing on a hand, yeah. They don't eat people, they feed on negative emotions. That's arguably worse from what I know about Slaanesh. Because if they can feed on negative emotions, they'll just keep the people prisoner and just torture them forever. Because that's a lot of negative emotions. I think I might rather my enemies just eat people. I can stop eating children whenever I want to. Cryptus, who's addicted to eating children. Badges before laser stairs. Oh yeah, I've already got that one, but thank you. No, the cripple in mid-jump. Hopefully one of them makes it and I can just waypoint. I got crippled in mid-air. Nice. Are the Leggy gloves bugged or awful? Neither. They were bugged yesterday for like an hour and they fixed it. They're fine now. And honestly, it was almost comical how many people were freaking out about it. And it didn't enter any of their minds that it was a glitch and to just, like, calm down and wait a minute. Let that be a life lesson to anyone that needs to hear it. If you see something wrong, and it might just be like a mistake or something, before you waste your energy getting angry, wait a minute and see if maybe it's gonna get fixed. You know? Like, don't waste your energy just getting all mad, typing on forums. Just wait a minute. See if it's gonna get fixed. It's ANET's fault, not the players. You control your emotions. That's on you. It is so ANET's fault? Yeah, it's ANET's fault that they had a bug in the code. That's true. But getting, like, all pissy about it for, like, an hour, like, that's the individual's fault, yeah. Say if you're saying, like, it's ANET's fault that the people got mad, like, I don't know. That's just like saying you can't control your emotions, and you want ANET to control them for you. Like, again, yeah, they made a bug. But then, like, within an hour, they fixed it. Muck patience is a virtue. Most people don't know how to cultivate that. Well, I'm trying to help them right now, Rujani. I'm encouraging them, if you're ever in a situation like this in the future, remember this moment, stay calm, and see if the issue is a lot smaller than you think it is. You know? They can learn something from this. Yeah, stay calm. Now, I agree with you. Okay, so what was the bug? Someone said, what's the bug? Let me catch everybody up. Yesterday, the first people got their legendary gloves from Fractals. And the legendary gloves did not have stat changing on them, which is something every other legendary in the game has. But they are also easier to get than any other legendary in the game. So some people were thinking, did they do this on purpose? Like, make it a worse legendary because it's so easy to obtain? And if they had, I would have had a whole discussion about that. However, they said within like an hour, like, oh, you know, sorry about that. That's a bug. That, you know, we're going to get that fixed. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to block you from stat changing. So, but in that 1 hour, there was countless people on the forums and in Lion's Arch and on the subreddit that were all just, getting very upset.
Patience is a virtue, most people don't play Guardian.
Smooth. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, if anyone needs to hear it, if you're ever in this situation in the future, remember this moment where it was like, oh, you know what? I got really mad about that glove thing, and it turned out to be just a glitch, and they apologized, and they fixed it in an hour. Maybe instead of spending my energy getting mad, I'll just go do some laundry for an hour or something, come back, and the problem might be fixed. No need to get all uppity about this. It was more like 8 to 9 hours. Alright. I think to be specific, it was less than an hour that they announced it was a bug and they're working on it. Maybe it wasn't an hour for them to fix it, but it was an hour before they made the announcement. Get one hammer on each side. This won't take long. Woo! Almost off the cliff. I'm waiting on the other side right now. This is the cliffside. Yep. Oh yeah, isn't there a new badge here starting yesterday? Anyone want to tell me where this one is? I don't think I've got the new badge for this one. It's at the start before the first ramp. Oh dang, really? Alright, I might run down and get it after the boss if I can remember. Bunch of us told you. Sorry, chat's moving pretty fast. Hey, Mike. Hi, Christopher. Do I need to get that hammer? Nope, someone else got it. Okay. Last hammer. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I can't go back? It doesn't let me go back. I'll have to get it the next time. Muck, don't leave. Badge. I couldn't go back down. It wouldn't let me. Morning, Mug. This will be my new work start time, so I won't be late anymore. Oh, okay, Raiju. Glad to have you. Here, someone said it was in a bush at the beginning. Dude, come on, open up. Let me see. I'll just go in on my own. Oh my gosh. Alright, what's the last one I need? Deep Stone. Is the Deep Stone one near the entrance, or is it farther in? Deep Stone is at the end? Okay, thanks. Mira says, players are players in any game. It's getting so tiring that most people knee-jerk react to things overly negative in recent years. That is true. That is true. And I cannot change the entire player base in any way, but I can make a small change, right? And if having a conversation about it here affects a couple of people so that in the future they're just a little more patient, I think that's a win. Let's see. Get out of here. Is any of this solo or is it all group stuff? The Fractal stuff is mostly group stuff, but it's really, really easy. Did they fix the Leggy gloves? Yeah, they fixed them yesterday. Good morning, hope all's well. What's up, Simor? Alright, 124 out of 150 now. Alright. Okay. Once more into the breach. Wait, no, did it bug out? I think it glitched out. Try again. Okay, it's working now. I'm just not great at the game. I don't like dragging people down. James, they really made these early fractals easy. Like, really easy. Like, there's an NPC that appears on you and revives you if you go down. Like, they really, really made these simple to try to get people to try them out and be comfortable trying them for the first time.
Happy to see you and your community again.
Hey, Bjorn. Welcome back, dude. 52 months. Appreciate that. Wow, they killed that guy before I could even get there. Yeah, like, to, reference to the person we were just talking to that said they were nervous about dragging down people. Like, I don't know if you see this, but this group is, like, almost killing stuff as fast as they're moving. Like, some of the mobs I'm not able to reach in melee range before they're gone. And we've got 2 people in here whose agony resistance is high enough that they were probably, like, veteran Fractal players, and then 3 that are on characters with low agony resistance. So, like, this person might be brand new, but as long as you're keeping up with the party, it's fine. At Muck, is quick play going to be an option for Fractals going forward or for a limited time? It's in beta right now, but I don't know if they're, like, before it gets to its next iteration, if it will be turned off, or if it will, go from just, like, beta to live when they're ready, you know? I don't know. Muck, hi, Rag. Congrats on reaching 200 on the plushie. Thank you. Yes, I'm very excited about that. Is there a reason the armored one is targeted first? Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's some groups will attack the one on the right first, some attacks the one on the left first. Basically, whichever one you defeat first in that fractal, the other one gains some abilities from the defeated one. So the second phase is slightly different. But for tier 1, it's they die so fast, it's kind of whatever. Anyone know if they'll be doing another balance patch soon, or if they will wait until a bit after VOE drops? I don't know of another balance patch that's about to happen. What will be the next morning game since you finished Days Gone? I was considering Borderlands 4. So, here's the thing. Alright, I got a few options here. We got like a week until it's Spooky Month. And anything I start will be put on pause for Spooky Month. So I could start a new game, like Borderlands 4 or something. Or I could, just take a game that we're already in the middle of in the evening stream and put it also in the morning to try to finish it faster, like Silksong. Those are kind of the thoughts going through my head right now. BL4 is good. I'm confident it's good. I'm only worried about performance. I've heard a lot of bad things about how well the game runs. I enjoyed Borderlands 1, 2, 3, the pre-sequel, and Tiny Tina's Wonderland, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this game. I'm just worried about performance. Early Spooky Month? No, 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 no. A month of me suffering heart problems is going to be enough, thank you. We don't need to jump into that even earlier than we already are. Like, I'm curious, I'll ask again, why do you approach Fractal Gate before using LFG for quick play? I noticed you did that multiple times. Because it drops, I don't know, it drops me right next to it. It feels like it's faster than moving the mouse up to the top of the screen, but it really, either way, you end up at the same place. October shaves 3 years off Muck's life each year, don't make it 4, yeah. Is there any horror games with Twitch integration in the list that you have? Twitch integration? Not that I know of. I mean, if you just mean, like, the ability to scare me, like, we always have jump scare sound bites on this channel. So, there is, you guys could absolutely spook me while I'm playing other things, whether, you know, if you want to. Jump, 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 jump. Wow, everybody made it. I don't think I've ever seen that during this event. Could do repo on Monday's Muck, co-op, and crowd control. Maybe? 134. Almost there. Amok, any speculation about legendary weapon types and family that will release with VOE? I want to craft like 4. Okay, so they said they're making 3. I'm thinking it's the underwater ones. There's 3 underwater weapons. Harpoon gun, trident, and spear. It'd be kind of weird, though, at the same time, because they just had a Legi spear, but that's my thoughts. Because when I think a set of 3 of a legendary, that's what I think of. You ready to play with nothing but shortbow thieves and AFK heralds in the maze? I've played this game for many years. I'm kind of mazed out right now. I might do the maze one evening just to play with the community, but I don't really need anything in there. The maze is mostly for people farming levels on new characters or farming money, and I don't really need either of those. Hey, Mocha Chat. Yo, Lord Heisen, what's up, man? What maze? During the Halloween event, there's a thing called the Labyrinth, and the Labyrinth is like a very simple maze that has a bunch of monsters in it. And you join a group and you run around and you kill monsters. And because there's, you might be in a group of like 50 people, right? So you're like a mob running around and just killing, monsters by running in circles over and over. And you get loot from them. And you just do this for hours on end, and you get piles and piles of trick-or-treat bags. And when you open the bags, there's a very small chance of getting really expensive stuff. So people do it to make money, or to gain a whole bunch of levels on a low-level character, things like that. But it's a popular Halloween in-game activity. People of any level can all play together in there. Do daily fractals contribute to the bonus event progress where you get dust? Wait, what? My neighbor's mowing their lawn. You're talking about like tier 4 dailies and stuff? I don't know. I think you have to do tier 1 dailies to do the bonus stuff. Quick play gives you dust. Well, hold on. Quick play gives you dust at the end of the fractal, but the achievements that give dust, some of them are done outside of quick play, just to be clear. Like, for example, one of them involves doing Swampland, and Swampland is not a quick play option. You have to do that outside of quick play. So it depends on which thing you're looking at. But if you're talking about the dust from just like dropped at the end of the fractal, then yes, what they said is correct. It's just quick play. What's your favorite festival in Guild Wars 2? I mean, probably Halloween, honestly, but more for like the skins and stuff like that, and the fun items that you can get than just because I want to do the events. Like, I can't think of any holiday where I want to do the events at this point. But I've been playing this game on and off for 10 years. Like, I like the 8-bit skins from Super Adventure Box. I like those. Those are fun. I don't want to do Super Adventure Box. Do you run the clock tower? I've run it before. Usually each year I do it once just to prove to myself that I still can. Honestly, wasn't it last year they made the clock tower a whole lot easier because like the lava doesn't rise anymore if you go to that setting? There's CM clock tower now. Happy Tuesday, I'm working on your gloves. What's up, Doodly? I got my gloves, and then I bought a colorful infusion just to show it off, and I thought I was buying a white infusion, and I accidentally bought a vanishing infusion, and I made it invisible. And I was like, damn it. So now I'm getting another spark to get a different colored infusion, because the first one I feel like I wasted. Uh, 20 dust from that. Wasn't expecting that. Wait, did I just get a spark? Because of that 20 dust? No. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It was in the box. Alright, cool. I'm done! Yes! Alright, that's nice. Alright, that weekly 20 dust jumped me ahead 4 or 5 more fractals. I wasn't expecting that. Muck holding up the party? What are you talking about, Charmon? It was over. Okay. Did you finish all of Dawn of War? Honestly, I've seen all of it. I'm still in that last campaign I was in with the Sisters of Battle. Alright, so... marker here for Noxxi. Okay. So, another set of gloves. Show me what you have in mind. Alright. You can get 5 dust by going to the 4 waypoints. Yeah, I already did that. Alright, what's a really noticeable color? They've already kind of pink. I guess blue just for visibility. Let's do that. Okay. So since it's a two-hander, I'm seeing a flash of blue and pink when I unsheath it. Dude, it's so stupid that the glow is right there. Alright, hang on a second. I just need a simple graphic here. Okay, that one, it's on the end of it. What the hell? I should unequip the Wayward Wisp for this, too. Where is Wayward Wisp? Alright, and then these guys. So these maces also, the glow is by the handle. But these are near the tip. Dude, what the hell? Like, all of my favorite, like, weapon skins do not work with this infusion. I'm upset about that. Can you put 2 colors? Yeah, but I've only got one right now. Patience? It's not really a patience thing, because they're they're not gonna fix that. Alright. Alright, we got our graphics. We got that thing. So at this point, I think I have everything needed to make the guide. Honestly, getting the other weights is not that bad. I mean, slightly annoying, but not that bad. Time to tell the devs to fix it. Well, no. There's something that okay. There's a difference between a widespread problem that's going to affect a lot of people on a newly released item and a very niche thing, right? And in my experience, like, yeah, I love ArenaNet, and they're very kind to me, but in my experience, it's really difficult to get them to fix a niche thing. The thing with the maces that I just showed, that's a niche thing. And it will be, like, virtually impossible to get them to fix that. Are there really cheap +9 infusions compared to others? Are these really cheap? So 5 power and 9 agony resistance for the spark is just play a lot of fractals, 30 ectos and 10 gold. So yeah, they are pretty cheap for a stat infusion. Let's see. I remember that there's a collection of bugs and stuff that Mux submitted that hasn't been fixed to this day. Yeah, I submitted a druid bug around 6 years ago that's still there. Does it have to be quick play fractals? To get the dust for the spark, you gotta do something that gives you dust. I think the cheapest stat infusion is the World v World one, but they don't have AR. Quick play for regular dust, but some specific fractals give bonus dust outside quick play. Yeah, and then there's like different events, like Triple Trouble right now gives dust. But that's for a, one-time event. I don't think that one's repeatable. Okay, and then, hold on, let me look at the gloves themselves. Yeah, so now that one's blue on the right and that one's pink on the left. Day mine at -1 of asking Muck to try placeholder exception thrown missing purpose. Hi, Tabi. Alright, let's start setting up a script here. So, now for some boring content creation stuff. Let's see. More options. Just put it on my desktop for now. What is the name of these gloves? I've already forgotten. Icacia Mistgrasper. Is that, wait, Icasa or Icacia? Icacia. Icacia Mistgrasper Legendary Gloves Guide. Go scriptless. I have never gone scriptless for a legendary guide, but this isn't that complicated. You probably don't need to make this one. You would be shocked. Okay, hold on a second. You know what? Hold on. I got the perfect example for that response. You guys remember, those of you that played Janthier, do you remember how easy it was to get your legendary spears? Okay? I'm sorry, not legendary. Take that word out. To unlock spears. Those of you who played Janthier Wilds, do you remember how easy it was to unlock spears? Just period. Alright? Because I knew that there would be people that would... Maybe they would buy Janthier, and before they even started, they're like, where do I get spears? I just want the spear. I don't care about the story. How do I get the spear? You know, they just want to know. And so I made a video that was 2 minutes long that just showed how to get spears. And that video has 46,000 searches so far, and it's still climbing. Do you see the graph? It's still going. So almost a year later, there's still people searching for how do I get the spear, because they search before they even try. Even though if you play Janthier, you just get it like 30 minutes in or something. Right? So, like, even the simplest of things, if you think someone's gonna search it, it still is beneficial to put it up. And also, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I have a guide for every legendary in the game with an asterisk. I don't want the asterisk there. I just want to have a guide for every legendary in the game. And right now, that means I need to make one for Icacia. Can you tell me what's the fastest way to get spirit shards? Anything that fills your XP bar. Honestly, right now, doing this fractal thing repeatedly gives a ton of XP, so that's really good right now. There's some people saying this is too hard to get still, the gloves, so I understand Muck's point. I would say that anyone saying that hasn't done any legendaries in the existing way. Like, it is completely fair to say that they are, that they're saying this is really hard to get because it's the hardest thing they've experienced so far. But it's nothing compared to the other legendaries. It's kind of like when a baby is born and it's crying. It's because it is experiencing the most traumatic thing it has ever experienced in its short life, right? But it hasn't seen taxes yet. It has no idea what else is on the horizon. It doesn't realize, like, that's nothing. Like, just get over it. Like, it gets so much worse. Right? Like, that's basically this. These are newborn players crying about these gloves, and they don't realize it gets so much worse. Babies are weak. Yeah. Hi, Noxxi. Wild comparison. Yeah, it was a spot-on metaphor. Okay. All right. So, let's make our little thing here. No, not daily. That's not what I want. Incursive investigation. Okay. So, we're gonna make some bullet points here, chat, and then we're gonna flesh this thing out. So, Icacia, Miss Grasper gloves. We have to do incursive investigation achievement. That's the main thing, right? Like that's the whole thing. All right, so let's break that down. So that is working together, relic in the mist, first recursion, second recursion, and third recursion. Okay, let's look at each of these. The third recursion is just 450 dust. Okay. Second recursion is just 300 dust. And first recursion is 150 dust. Okay. Relic in the Mist is, while progressing incursive investigation working together, discover the agony torn gloves in a quick play fractal. Okay. All right. And then working together. All right. So working together has a lot more steps here, but they're mostly pretty simple. Talk to Miss Stranger. Okay, so here, chat, you guys are going to fact check me here. To my knowledge, for this event, the Miss Stranger's only in Lion's Arch. Is the Miss Stranger anywhere else? Like, is it in the Fractal lobby? Is it in Mistlock Sanctuary somewhere? You know, is it in any other locations? Azulian says in World v World, I think. Just Lion's Arch, I think. Only LA and in the instance next to the portal. Okay. So I'll just say in Lion's Arch. He's in our hearts. Talk to the Miss Stranger in Lion's Arch. Speak with gathered allies to hear the plan. Okay. This one. Speak with gathered allies to hear the plan. I did that by entering this instance right here. However, I heard that some of you did it another way. Could any of you clarify to me what the other way to do that specific step is? I went into that instance and talked to people. It's kind of auto-completed. You speak to the NPC right beside you. Yo, which one? Like just one of these? Just talk with the Asura, Frodo, and the Miss Stranger again. Frodo? I sparked to Frodo. Okay. Alright, so talk with the NPCs next to the Miss Stranger, or enter the Fractal Incursion Conference, which is a small private area, and speak with them there. And that also comes with that other lore that's in there. Okay. Okay. So, step 3. Complete a Fractal in quick play mode and loot the final treasure chest. This gives the Agony Torn Gloves. Bring them back to the Mist Stranger. Complete first recursion. And you're not going to have to wait on the week to end, because that's done. Talk to Mist Stranger. Complete second recursion. Talk to Mist Stranger. Complete third recursion. Talk to Mist Stranger. And receive your gloves. When does the event end? So just to be very clear here, the gloves are not part of the event. The gloves you've got forever. But the event that gives the bonus loot ends in 14 days. You can click up here on any event in game and see the remaining time. Last question about Twitch. If you submit a ticket, will they respond to email or somewhere on Twitch? Anyone know? Typically email. The few times I've had to reach out to them, it was email. You might want to say that 1, 2, 3 recursion is the same dust count. True. That's actually pretty good. Okay, so... special notes. Let's see. The dust count is the same. When you finish getting your 150 dust for first recursion, you will be at 150 out of 300 for the second. It does not restart the counter. Okay, that's good. That's good, because some people will wonder about that. Yomuk, how you doing? What's your take on the quick play feature? Good, bad, massive W. It's good. They will have to add more into it if they want it to be used at higher levels of play. For example, tier 4 fractals, you typically run with a healer that provides quickness or alacrity and a DPS that provides quickness or alacrity, opposite of whatever the healer's providing, plus 3 dime a dozen deadbeat DPS. And if you want it to be used there, it can't just take 5 random people and throw them in there. It has to actually, like, do some stuff with group composition. But for what it is right now, yeah, it's great for what it is right now. It's gotten a lot of people their first legendary, and it's getting a lot of people to try fractals and be like, oh, wow, I've been too nervous to try this for 10 years. This is actually not bad. So it's getting people to try it out. It's good. Let's see. I agree, some quick play roll queue for higher tiers would be cool in the future. Yeah. It would have to be to work somehow, because otherwise you could end up with a group that has like no boons, no healer or something. Or 5 healers. How would they do that? Would people have to sign up with support heal? Yeah, I think you would have... Okay, so there's many ways to do it. One way is to just have a queue system. Like, in World of Warcraft, you just say, I'm queuing as tank, or I'm queuing as DPS, or I'm queuing as healer, right? In this, it would be, I'm queuing as, you know, quick heal or quick DPS, and then it would just piece them together. And it wouldn't check your build or anything, it would just trust that you were queuing as, you know, what you said you were queuing as. That would be one of the simplest ways to do it. But there is more complicated ways where they would try to double check your builds. But the thing is, there's so much build flexibility in this game. Sometimes that can be tricky. Like if you've got an alacrity providing Scourge, but they queue as with Plague Doctor's gear instead of Harriers, does the system care? You know, you're going to have a million little questions like that. You're going to have a million little things like that. Okay, so we've got a good thing going here. So next up, Control S to save. Are any of y'all in the habit when you're working on a document, you just hit Control S like every sentence? I am sad to say I have developed that habit over my lifetime. Okay, obtaining other weights of the gloves is going to be a section. And obtaining the infusions for various colors will be a section. Alright, and then what else? Maybe talk about what Leggies are? Where's one of my older legendary guides? I could probably cut and paste that chunk. Let's see. Video scripts. What was the last legendary I did a guide on? Probably Club Journey. Search Club. Alright, found it. Oh no, Orax would have been the last one. Okay. Alright, so... Wait, what? Just add the bug gloves to the video just to troll. No, because the thing is, I try to make my videos... okay, there's different YouTubers with different talents. I feel like I have never really discovered the art of making a video that just pops off and goes viral in a day. But I am decent at making videos that are evergreen, that will continue to get me a trickle of views for years to come. And so time-sensitive jokes don't work in videos that people might be watching 2 years from now. Okay, so let's see. All right. So I'm just gonna copy paste this right here, and bing bang boom. All right, so this is all the intro from most of my legendary guides. So hey everyone, MuklukDouglas, Bartholomew, Reginald Esquire the Fourth here, and this is guiding me showing you how to craft Acacia, the Mist Grasper legendary gloves. Let's get started. First off, why would you want legendary gear? Maybe change craft to attain. That's fair. You're not really crafting this. Alright, why would you want legendary gear? Legendary gear has the same stats as ascended gear. This means if you have a piece of ascended gear with power, precision, and ferocity on it, and a legendary gear with the same 3 stats, the numbers will be the same. However, the legendary gear can swap to other stats at any time you are out of combat. This means you can use that weapon piece with every gear set you own or aim to own, and it can always have the desired stats. Additionally, when you replace a rune or infusion on a legendary item, the old one pops off instead of being deleted, which can save you a lot of cash if you swap builds often. The final reason you might want it is if you think it looks gorgeous. And then maybe just right there. Okay. So yeah, I think that intro is still valid for this one, so I think I'll keep that. Hey Muck, have you ever done a video on currencies? Where you get them and which one's used on which? The thing is ArenaNet really loves adding currencies. Now there has been a few times where they have condensed them, such as the strike currencies and the dungeon currencies, but they really like currencies. And I feel like such a video would go out of date really, really quickly. So I think I would be better served to just leave that to the other websites that use written guides. Like, yeah, like Fast Farming, yeah. Okay. Let's do this. What was my outro for that video? Oh my god, Club Journey was so many pages. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Alright, so this is the outro to the Janthir Club Journey video. Remember, if you unlock the item, let's see, remember, it's not if, it's once. Once you unlock the gloves, they will go into your legendary armory and can be used on every build template on every character that can use them. Remember that I have links to all the steps in the description down below. Use them if you need more details. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like for the YouTube algorithm, comment if you have any questions, or if you know any tricks and tips I didn't share, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Another massive thank you to the supporters on Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube who keep this channel alive, and if you're interested in becoming one and getting more videos and perks, there's a link in the description. Surely complete. Thanks for listening, and happy Slapping? Okay, okay, I'm immediately reminded. Any of you, I think it was Robin Hood Men in Tights. There was a scene where this guy pulls off a silk glove and he goes, I challenge you to a duel, and he slaps the other guy with his glove. And the other guy picks up a metal gauntlet and goes, I accept, clang, and just smashes the guy in the face. I think we should use that in this somewhere. So, Robin Hood Men in Tights challenge you to a duel meme, question mark? There we go. I think we could utilize this. Maybe, change the glove to look like the new one. Love that movie, yes. Robin Hood himself was using the metal glove. It was a great scene. I'm remembering it many years later. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna need something to drink while we work on this. Hang on, chat. I'll be right back. I thirst. I thirst. Okay, I'm back. Make. Alright. Do you yearn for the mines? No, I just thirsted. One sec. Oh, my headset cord is tangled up. And that should do it. Alright. Okay. Let's see. GW2 drops are usually Tuesday to Monday with content updates. Yep. Maybe change it to of every character with the same armor class. Okay, hold on. Where are we? Remember, once you have the gloves, you will go in your they will go in your leisure armor. You can be used on every build template of every character that can use the same armor class. Light, medium, or heavy. Okay. All right. So now we've got a really good template here, and I just need to flesh this out into actual words for the video, which we should be able to do pretty quickly, because as most of you saw, this was not that complicated of a project, for sure. So, maybe also add like a hook here. Hey everyone, MuklukYoutube, Bartholomew Original Desk by the 4th here. This is a guy named Ed showing you how to obtain Acacia, the Mist Grasper Legendary Gloves. At the time of recording this, the easiest legendary to get in the game, which is true, and that's also a nice hook. Might get people interested. So we'll add that there too. Okay. To get started on this project, go to your achievements list and search for incursive investigation. I recommend clicking the little eye icon to pin it to the top right of your screen, allowing you easy, repeated access to it as you work on this project. Step 1 is to simply go to Lion's Arch, go to the south end near the Fractal's entrance, and speak with the Mist Stranger. After finishing that dialogue, the next step is to speak with gathered allies to hear their plans. You can do this in 2 ways. Speak with the NPCs around the Mist Stranger, or interact with the, what is the name of that thing over here? Fractal Incursion Conference. Okay. So close that. Okay. Or interact with the Fractal Recursion Conference. What do I call that thing? Glow? Portal? Instance? Glowing icon a few feet away. If you do so, it will teleport you to a private instance where you can talk with the NPCs needed for this step and also find some bonus lore items as well. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's done, that's done. So I'm just gonna get rid of that to remind me where I'm at. All right, so next up, complete a fractal in quick play mode. To do this, open the group finder in the top left corner and navigate to fractals, and then navigate to fractals. At the time of recording this, this step can only be done in tier 1 fractals, but that may change in the future. In the tier 1 fractal section, what is the name of that button? Looking for group, fractals. Okay, so let's put that there for a sec. The one titled Initiate Scales 1 through 25. There is a Find a Fractal Quick Play Group icon. That it? Yeah. Using this throws you into a tier 1 fractal with 4 other people. If you are new to fractals, don't panic. They have made these very, very easy to give you time to get used to them. If you go down, the Mist Stranger will help you up. And the bosses were nerfed to the point where experienced, I don't know, would that, I don't want it to sound hurtful. If I say, like, oh, the boss is so easy, so this guy can solo it. Maybe rephrase that. And the bosses were simplified greatly. If you later decide to do higher tiers of fractals, the bosses will regain their, all of their former strengths and abilities. Okay. Let's try that. Alright. At the end of your first quick play fractal, make sure you grab the loot if you do not have auto loot, and you will obtain a pair of agony torn gloves. Go back and talk to the Mist Stranger again to show the gloves to him. Is it him or them? Oh my god, I've always thought of Raza as a guy because he looks masculine, but technically it's a creature of mist. I have no idea. I'm gonna say him for now. Raza is like, did you assume my gender? Like, no, Raza, I'm sorry. Complete a fractal in quick play mode and loot the final treasure chest. That's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. Okay. I've auto loot. Next up, you will need to do 3 recursion achievements. The first recursion is to gather 150 dust. Was it fractaline dust, I believe? Fractaline dust. A few notes on this. The dust does not show up in your inventory or wallet. When you loot it, it will immediately credit toward all the achievements that use it. So you can just track one of those achievements to keep an eye on how much you have. You get, I think it's 4 to 6, isn't it, chat? I'm gonna say 4 to 6. You guys fact check me on this. You get 4 to 6 dust each time you do a quick play fractal, and more dust for many various achievements, such as some world bosses and doing specific fractals it asks you to. 4 to 6, yeah? Okay, right on. Once you have 150 dust, talk to the Miss Stranger again. Then get 300 dust. You are not starting from 0 here. After you have 150 dust, you will be 150 out of 300 for the second step. And talk to the Miss Stranger again. Then get 450 dust and talk to the Miss Stranger again. You may notice text on the steps that say to return after the end of how do they phrase it? It's like fractal something week 1, because people are going to be confused by that if they don't remove that text. Wait until Fractal Incursion week 1 ends. Okay. You may notice text on the steps that say to wait until Fractal Recursion week 1 ends. If they leave that text in, know that that has already happened. It was a time gate for when these first came out. That is no longer an issue to worry about. Okay, are the Fractal Incursions going to continue? Incursive Investigation is going to be there forever, but Fractal Incursion, this, I believe, is temporary. So the bonus rewards in here, such as the 2 bag slots and the extra 20 slot bag and the Legendary Weapon Starter Key, I think that's going to go away in 14 days. Okay. Take a drink. All right. Guild Wars 1, let's see. Wait, what was this question? Hang on. Ra's has been mentioned as him and he many times in Guild Wars 1. Maybe one instance NPC said him and then correcting to it. On the live stream, they said them. Gender gaseous. I mean, he's made. They're made of mist, so I guess it depends what equipment they gave themselves. The dust only comes from matchmaking or doing fractals in general. It comes from the quick play fractals, the matchmaking ones, and then it also comes from achievements. All right. Go back to the Mixed Stranger again, and wait. Let me go back and check this again. All right, so third recursion, go back and talk to him and you get the gloves. All right. Okay. Go back and talk to the Miss Stranger one more time after getting the 450 dust to get your first pair of legendary gloves. Maybe not first, to get your legendary gloves. After you obtain, at this point in the video, we go. Yeah. Yay. After you obtain obtain these, you will need to choose light, medium, or heavy armor. So each glove choice, let's see. If you would like to get, hold on, typo. If you would like to also get the other 2 armor weights that you didn't choose, speak with the Mist, punctuation. Speak with the Mist Stranger again. They will have a new dialogue. What does it say? Is there any way I can get another set of gloves? Is there any way I can get another set of gloves? This will open up a shop window that sells the other 2 armor weights of gloves, as well as a bunch of infusion options. We'll come back to these. Let's finish explaining. Let's focus on the gloves for now. Let's focus on the armor weights for now. Okay. All right, so all of this. Where's Talk to a Stranger? Discover the agony tour. Yep, all that's covered. So same. All that's covered. Okay, so now we're down to this. All right. It costs 500 exotic essence of luck for 1 additional weight. How's that? So Fractaline Spark, Icy Runestone, Gift of Mighty Prosperity, and Magical Prosperity. Gift of Magical Prosperity is Gift of Research. Oh, it's the Gift of Research? It's the Gift of Research. Each Gift of Research is 250 exotic luck. Alright. Fun. Let's see. Okay. Alright. Hang on. Alright. Each of the 2 legendary glove armor weights that you did not obtain will have the same price tag. I'll have, let's see. Let's go over what these require. Alright, so, Gift of Magical Prosperity. I'm going to make a little chart here for a second. Gift of Mighty Prosperity. 200 Icy Runestones, which I believe are just 200 gold from the Norn Monopoly guy. And Fractaline Spark. Okay. Alright, so, Gift of Magical Prosperity. Gift of Craftsmanship. 9 Mystic Clovers. Gift of Condensed Magic. Gift of Research. Okay. And... Gift of Mighty Prosperity. Gift of Craftsmanship. 9 Mystic Clovers, Gift of Condensed Might, and Gift of Research. Alright. Okay, so let's go through each of these. Gift of Magical Prosperity. This is made by combining the following items in the Mystic Forge. Gift of Craftsmanship. This is purchased from many NPCs for 50 Provisioners tokens. If this is your first time ever needing provisioners tokens, basically you talk with various NPCs and give them items they want in trade for the tokens. I will include a link to the wiki page for this if you would like a full list of these. Many were added in Secrets of the Obscure that can trade for common materials such as elder wood and mithril that you may find easier to do. Alright, let's just do that for now. 9 Mystic Clovers. Alright, chat, let's see if you guys agree with me. Statement. I think the easiest way to get Mystic Clovers in the game for a new player right now is the Wizard's Vault. Do you agree, or do you think there's an easier way I should recommend? Yes. Okay, then I'll do that then. I didn't want to like give that advice and then someone be like, "Wait, Muck, you forgot about blah 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 blah." All right. For a new player, the easiest way to obtain these is from the Wizard's Vault. If you are more experienced and have already used those up, you can get clovers from many different sources, including strike merchants, fractal merchants, raid merchants, PvP, World v World, say PvP and World v World reward tracks, crafting them out of mystic coins, and many others. Okay. Alright, Gift of Condensed Magic. Okay, so... let's see. This is such a weird one. Hold on, I want to show you guys this. So Gift of Condensed Magic is made with Gift of Dust, Totems, Venom, and Blood. By throwing it in the Mystic Forge, which is free. Anyone can do that. Lear will do it for 10 ectos. This is such a trap. Like, this is free. You don't need... this isn't even like, oh, it saves me from making a tailor. You know? Like, this is the Forge. He's like, oh, yeah. You got any ectos? Like, he's just tweaking over there in the corner. Gift of Condensed Magic. Made by combining gifts of blood, venom, totems, and dust in the Mystic Forge. Okay. Each of those 4 gifts can be crafted by an artificer, huntsman, or weaponsmith, or by Lear, and this one I'll recommend Lear, in Secrets of the Obscure. He will add a small fee for having him do it. Basically, combine a bunch of blood, types of blood to make the Gift of Blood, and so on and so forth for each of these 4 items. Then combine them all in the Forge for the Gift of Condensed Magic. Small fee. Nah. Whatever. Let the newbies have hope. Okay. Gift of Research. Gift of Research. Alright, thermocatalytic reagent. I'm 99% sure that's from Merchant. Sold by Master Craftsman, yeah. Hydrocatalytic is sold by Master Craftsman but needs research notes. An exotic luck. Okay. Gift of Research. Okay. Gift of Research requires 250 thermocatalytic reagents bought from merchant NPCs near crafting stations. 500 hydrocatalytic reagents bought from the same NPCs, but instead of buying with money, you buy with research notes. If you need help on obtaining research notes, I have a small guide I will link on this topic in the description down below. And lastly, 250 exotic essence of luck. A reminder on luck. A level 1 artificer character can combine small amounts of luck into larger amounts. So to obtain this, just save all the luck you get for a time and put it in your bank, then have your artificer, typo, butchered that word, your artificer combine and condense it into the exotic version. Mystic Forge, right? Yeah. Throw all this stuff into the Mystic Forge to get the Gift of Research. Then throw the Gift of Craftsmanship, Clovers, Gift of Condensed Might, Magic, and Gift of Research into the Forge, Mystic Forge. I don't want some newbie running to the blacksmith. To make the Gift of Magical Prosperity. Okay. Gift of Mighty Prosperity. Made a Gift of Craftsmanship, non-Mystic Clovers, Gift of Condensed Might, and Gift of Research. The only item different in the Gift of Mighty Prosperity from the magical one we just made is the Gift of Condensed Might. So that is the only one, well, let's see. Rephrase. RS Wowzer's tips. What up? You can also salvage ectos if you need more. True. Yes. The fact that those gloves need 2 gifts of research is pure effing evil. I think it's still a whole lot less than any other version of getting legendary gloves in the game. Like, I think even getting the second pair of Acacia's gloves is cheaper than any other legendary gloves currently in the game. But yeah, no one likes research notes. How do you write so much text without AI? You must be old. How do I even respond to that? How do you write so much? And then, you must be old. What? I'm just pushing the buttons on the keyboard, man. Anyway, let's see. The only item different in the Gift of Research for the magical one we just made is the Gift of Condensed Might. Okay, Condensed Might. Where is that? Bop, 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 bop. For this, you will need Gift of Claws, Scales, Bones, and Fangs. Let me open one of these up. Again, each of these can be made by an artificer, huntsman, or weaponsmith, or leer in Secrets of the Obscure for a fee. Huntsman? Huntsman. All 4 of these combined in the Mystic Forge makes the Gift of Condensed Might. The Gift of Condensed Might, the Clovers, the Gift of Craftsmanship, and the Gift of Research combined in the Forge will give you your Gift of Mighty Prosperity. Okay. 200 Icy Rune Stones. I'm 99% sure that that's that guy over by the Claw of Jormag, but I'm gonna fact check. Let me see what we got. Icy Runestone. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, Rosian the Penitent. Okay. These are sold by Rosian the Penitent next to where you fight the Claw of Jormag. This dude has a monopoly, I cannot type, on this service. You cannot get these anywhere else. They cost 1 gold each, so that's 200 gold. Fractaline Spark. Okay, what is the name of that one repeatable thing? What's the thing that gives the spark? There. Okay. Fractaline Spark. After you get your first set of gloves, you will unlock an achievement called Incursive Investigation. Infinite Recursion. Each time you get 150 Fractaline Dust, you will get... Hi. Thank you. You will get a Fractaline Spark. Then the achievement will reset. Let's see. I know we just joking. My husband doesn't type super fast. He's a year older than me. So in my case, I've told this story before. My parents had me take a intro to typing class in 9th grade. And right after that, I got addicted to EverQuest. And this is before things like TeamSpeak were popular. So if you were talking with folks online, even friends you played with every day, it was usually typing. So it was like right after I learned the proper way to put my hands on the keyboard, I then got addicted to Evercrack and proceeded to play it for 7 years. So that really sharpened the skill. So yeah, and then like at that point, I felt like it was really easy. So the first job I ever got that was like a paid job was data entry. It was at an all-state insurance location. Basically, you know the people that'll call you and be like, "Hey, if you give me like the make and model of your car, I'd like to give you a quote to see if we can give you a better insurance rate," and then you switch over to us. And then those people would like give me like the data, and then I would just punch it into the computer. So that was and for me, it was absolutely brain dead work because it was just like take those words and put them there. So the Sparks vendor, the event is permanent, or is there a reason to do week 3 stuff if I got all the week 2 stuff? The event, there's 2 events, but the event for the gloves is permanent. Give me your car. No, the car's make and model. Okay. First, you will unlock. Another way to get the spark, if you wish to, is to get the Infinite Mist Omni Potion from the Wizard's Vault and trade it for a spark. Note, if this is your only Mist Omni Potion, oh my god, I do not recommend this. It is way too good. Only do this if you have a duplicate of it. Okay. Will the potion still be available after the event? I have no idea. What is for lunch? It's leftovers. Last night, hang on a sec. My wife made, it's kind of like spaghetti with chicken in it. And it's got garlic and butter sauce on it, and some cheese as well. She made that last night, and these are leftovers from that. And it was delicious, and I bet it is still going to be delicious. Michael, what did you used to do for work before you streamed every day? The last full-time normie job I had was tech support. And it sucked. I would say I was good at it, but I hated it. And I'm sure some of you have similar skill sets. I was able to fix things and calm people down, but it was soul eroding. Because every day people called in when they were already mad. And some people are still nice to talk to when they're mad, but a lot of people are not. So, yeah. And now I was just like tier 1 tech support. I was working in the trenches. Near the end of it, I was the head of the tier 1 department, but it was basically, you know, like I was on the front lines. Like, for example, I've never worked at a cash register in a fast food joint, you know? But I try to always be really nice to customer service people because I know how much people suck. I know how much they suck. I remember getting my first angry call at my first summer job. I cried. We had... Yeah. Yeah, our tech support department, like, we had, you know, men and women in there. You know, of course, women by nature are more emotional. They're just more emotion driven than men are. It's just one of the differences between us. And there was a couple of times that the female tech support folks got brought to tears and they had to like take a break, and we would just cover for them when that would happen. It was a rare thing. It wasn't like an everyday thing or anything like that. It wasn't like they were just getting extra smoke breaks or something, but it happened. About getting canceled for saying women are emotional. I was pretty careful about how I said that. I hang up on the angry people. There were certain lines, and if the people crossed those lines, we were allowed to not only hang up on them, but cancel their service, and you know, tell them we would no longer provide them service. But the line was pretty far. Like, people could be a jerk for a while before they would hit that line. And the calls were being recorded, so the boss would check. 'Cause, you know, he didn't want us canceling service and costing us money if it was like just a nothing burger, you know? Alright. Let's see. Tech support's usually about the least trained. That said, it was either they excelled and moved up, or they sucked and only told people to reset their equipment. I mean, there's some places that when you call in, tech support has a script, right? Did you turn it off and on again? Did you make sure it's plugged in? You know, the easy stuff. And the reason they ask that is that solves more than half of the phone calls. Because there's a lot of stupid people out there, right? And after that, though, you know, sometimes, like, it's like if you go off script, they have no idea what to do. Now, the place I worked at, we were supposed to troubleshoot. But if we hit, like, a certain amount of time and we couldn't solve the problem, then we escalate it to tier 2, which were, you know, more experienced people. But we did not have a script where I worked at. We were, you know, to try to figure it out as best as we could within a certain time frame. All right. All right. So, once you have the... let's do them in order here. Hang on. Gifts, Gift of Magical Prosperity. Gift of Mighty Prosperity. 200 Icy Runestones. And a Fractaline Spark. You can come back and buy another armor weight of the Legendary Gloves. Now, chat, I imagine that if you get your second set of gloves, the third set is still going to be the same price. Like, I don't think it's going to change. Can anyone verify that? Have any of you already gotten a second set? I would imagine it doesn't matter what order you get them in, but I want to double check. You can always do it on stream to check. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Did some tier 1 people were better than tier 2 in your old job? I would say that tier 1... Okay, I would say that many of the tier 1 people in my tech support job were as good as the tier 2 people in many of the places you call, and the tier 1 are using a script. But not always true. Like, it's not the same across the board. But the tier 1 people, like, we were supposed to troubleshoot things and figure it out. And if we could figure it out, then we document what the fix was to make future calls like that faster. And basically really only bother the tier 2 if we had to. In your case, I feel like I was good at the job. I just hated it. Like, you would be shocked how many tech support issues can be fixed by just a normal person with Google. Like, we called it Google Foo. Like, if you couldn't solve a problem quickly and you went to tier 2 and they solved it in 5 minutes with Google, they'd be like, your Google Foo is weak. It was like, it's absolutely a true thing. There's a lot of stuff that you could fix with a Google search. Let's see. Okay. Once you get the gift of legendary gloves. Okay. If you wish, you can do this process twice to get both of the armor weights you did not originally choose, and thus have all three of them. Light, medium, and heavy. Okay, so next is talking about the infusions and the colors. But we're gonna eat for a minute here. Excellent says, I often remote into the customer's computer and Google it on their screen. That's messed up. I used the term Google Foo at my last tech support job and no one knew what I was talking about. I quit shortly after. Wow. Am I weird for not being that excited about these Legend gloves? Argentum, I am excited for just my fellow gamer. For me, I've already got legendary gloves, so doing this is just like, basically I'm doing it as a content creator, not because I care about it as a player of the game. But that's because I already have them. Rujani says, look at my message. I'm a little behind, not sure if someone brought it up at 2x speed, but Mug, is it worth noting in the guide that the exotic Omni Potion is the interchangeable one, and that it may only be an option from current Wizard Vault season? Let me take a look at where I wrote that. Is the exotic quality Infinite Mist Omni Potion from the Wizard's Vault and trade it for a Spark. Alright. I do not know if the Omni Potion on the Wizard's Vault will be there in the future. But it is at the time of recording this. Alright, there we go. There we go. I clarified it a little bit. Okay, doing good. Alright. Chat, we're just gonna mingle, and I'm gonna eat this food. And then we just gotta finish the color infusion color sections, and then we'll have the whole script. Look at my message. I'm looking Omni. Sweet, just figured that might confuse someone 6 months down the line. No, that's a good point. Do you think the infusions and infinite recursion achievements will be permanent? They said that incursive investigation stuff is here to stay, and fractal incursion was a limited time thing. The thing is incursive investigation requires the quick play beta to work. So I would assume that quick play in some way, shape, or form is sticking around. Ah. Big bite of chicken. Did you get a free lens with the first gloves? No, I don't think so. Nope, I bought that one. Let's get rid of some of those. Holy inventory. Ah, we still got room. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, wait, there's another stack? Where's the other stack? There we go. Okay. Boop, boop. Alright, yeah, we'll deal with the rest on that. Okay. Quick play seems good. Probably need to up the penalty for leaving. There's a penalty. It's like 2 minutes. So like if someone joins a quick play and they like, oh, I didn't want this map, and then they just leave and try to queue again, they have to wait like 2 minutes. There wasn't a penalty on day 1, but they added a penalty a couple days into it. We can get 2 Fractaline Spark? Yes. This is repeatable. Yep. Only 2 minutes, not bad. I think it's 2 minutes. But yeah, they added that in because too many people were hopping groups early on. What would be the best play, getting 2 sparks and stop, or should I aim for infusions as well? I'm torn, because here's the thing. This is a very affordable way of getting a +9 infusion. Hang on. Let's do something here, okay? Let's look at let's do +9. Alright. So, let me rephrase that, because I want to clarify this. This is a +9 infusion, but it also has 5 power on it. A 5 +5 to a stat infusion is usually quite costly. And this is 10 gold, plus 30 ectos, plus doing fractals, but that's not really, that's a time cost. So for the stats, like, that's pretty good. But if you don't care about power, maybe you play a comedy build or something, then it's really just a matter of, do you think the glow is pretty, and do you want it? Tender says, yeah, but I don't want to do 1 million incursions. I mean, that's fair. I don't really either. Will the infusion shop stay after the event? I would imagine so, because the shop is how you get the other armor weights. The shop is related to the legendary, and the legendary is staying, so I have no reason to believe the shop's going to go away. Could you place those infusions in other gear? Let's test. I have one. I'm pretty sure you can, but here, I'm gonna put a normal infusion there, and then I'm gonna put the blue infusion in my pants. Oh! Now my pants are glowing blue. Oh, they're not glowing blue, but Yes, they are currently in my pants. Bet you they still work too. Yep, blue glow. So it doesn't matter what slot they're in. I also wonder if you could stack it. Like if you had blue on your weapon and also like if you had blue on your weapon from your pants and orange on your weapon from your boots, and if you could mix colors. I would imagine you can, because many infusions you can do that. Now, typically, same stat color infusions don't stack. So, if you have blue, like agony lens blue on every piece of your armor, graphically, I think that will not stack. But if you have blue on an armor, and red on an armor, and green on an armor, and amber on an armor, I think it will stack and make just an absolute mess. Do they work without the gloves on? You're asking if the graphic works without the gloves on? I don't think so. Alright, so here's another set of gear. I want to put blue on this one. And no, there's no glow. You need the gloves to enable the glow. Doesn't it need to be in the weapon? No, I just put it in my pants and the glow happened. It does not have to be in the weapon. How would it work if you have green and blue for the right? I would imagine it would try to combine the colors. People combine their infusions all the time. Okay. Whew. Alright, lunch done. So. Let's talk about the colors mechanic on the gloves and the infusions. By default, when you get the legendary gloves, they have a pinkish color in the sockets on the back of the hand. When you unsheath your weapon, the glow will move to a part of the weapon. This can vary based on weapon skin. If you wish to, from the Mist Stranger, you can buy agony lenses that will change the colors. Or add more. Alright, let's say change the colors, add more colors, or remove the colors entirely, if you wish to. A few notes about this. If you transmute the gloves to a different graphic, the glow will not work. The agony lens infusions do not have to be in the gloves. You simply have to have the infusion equipped somewhere and the gloves equipped. So you could, in theory, no, actually I think that's enough. I don't need to expand on that anymore. Let's see. Historically, how can I say this? Infusions with the exact same name and stats would not stack graphically. So if you bought 6 blue agony lens and had them in all your pieces of armor, I believe only one would show. But if you get one blue, one red, one green, etc., you should be able to combine colors if you wish to do so. Let's see. Like, to give you guys an example, my engineer has the glowing eye from Jormag, and he's got one glowing eye infusion that's power and one that's Condi, and it visibly does, like, double brightness when I have both equipped. But it's because they're different stats. If they're the same stat, it doesn't work. So slot those lenses in the weapon, then? You could. Another trick from infusions of the past is to have lenses of one color, let's see, lenses of one set of colors in your weapons, in your weapon, and lenses of a different set of colors in your other weapon set. So the aura changes when you weapon swap. Okay, I think that about covers everything. The cost of each lens is 10 gold, 30 ectos, and 1 fractaline spark from the earlier mentioned repeatable achievement. Note, if you only want agony resistance, getting +9 agony resistance infusions from the trading post is cheaper. But if you want the +5 power for each slot as well, these are one of the cheapest options available to get that at the time of recording this video. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh, man. All right, I think... Control S. I think that's everything. And then we go to our outro. Remember, once you unlock the gloves, they'll go to your legendary armory and can be used on every build template of every character that gives you the same armor class, light, medium, or heavy. And then we got the outro. I think that's everything. Man, the guide to make the gloves was like a page and a half. But adding all the other stuff about getting the additional armor weights and the lenses ended up bringing it up to 5 pages. Okay, that is done and done. So now I will just need to record me saying all of that, and then get some in-game footage and send it off to the Noxxi. Okay. So... let's see. Sup, chat. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's see. Muck, you sure you don't want to wing it again for the audience? Not on these, no. Not on these. Good luck with footage wherever you see the stranger. Yeah. So I do have, like, whenever I talked to the stranger lines art, stuff like that. So, we've got footage of that. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this. And, you know what? Because I know that there's going to be people that'll be like, you know, they're going to pop in when I'm in the middle of this. They're going to be like, what are you doing? I don't understand. So, let me do this. And do text. Let's see, recording. I'm going to do something I've never done before. Hang on. Recording a guide. All right. We're going to do this. And then... okay. So now if anyone pops in and they're like, why is Muck reading this? Who's he talking to? Then we can just be like, you're stupid. Center of the screen. Well, no, I gotta read this on the center of the screen. That's what this is. So we're going to go through this. And occasionally I'll stop and highlight stuff, And then that stuff I've got to come back to and record footage of. All right. So we're going to pause alerts. I can't pause the patrons, though. Hopefully they behave. When will it be out? It'll take a little bit. So, like, I'll finish recording this now and put it in Noxxi's inbox. Noxxi's next workday is tomorrow, and then they'll get started on it, but it might take them a couple days to make this look... Like, Noxxi's a really good editor, and for a really good product, I got to wait for them to finish it, right? So it might take 1 business day, it might take 3 for her to edit this and make it look as nice as possible. And then it would go into early access on my Discord, and then a few days later, then it would go live. All right. Why aren't you reading this? I am reading this, Snake. What's up? Okay. I wonder how long until they're in the Mystic Crafting add-on. Well, the thing is, getting your first set of gloves is just like do the thing, right? So it's not really crafting. So I'm not really sure what they would put in there. Maybe the second and third set of gloves. Okay. All right. Here we go. Marker. Hey Noxxi, this is Muk, obviously. Currently live, so there's going to be some people chatting. This is going to be the audio for the Acacia Mist Grasper gloves. Alright. Hey everyone, Mukluk Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire IV here, and this is a guide aimed at showing you how to obtain Acacia, the Mist Grasper legendary gloves. At the time of recording this, the easiest legendary to get in the game. Let's get started. First off, why would you want legendary gear? Legendary gear has the same stats as ascended gear. That means if you have a piece of ascended gear with power, precision, and ferocity on it, and a legendary gear with those same 3 stats, the numbers will be the same. However, the legendary gear can swap to other stats at any time you are out of combat. This means you can use the weapon piece with every gear set... Just a second. This means you can use that legendary piece with every gear set you own or aim to own, and it can always have the desired stats. Additionally, when you replace a rune or infusion on a legendary item, the old one pops off instead of getting deleted, which can save you a lot of cash if you swap builds often. The final reason you might want it is if you think it looks gorgeous. And then show a clip of some legendary, just like super zoom in on the gloves, and then... To get started on this project, go to your achievements list and search for Incursive Investigation. I recommend clicking the little eye icon to pin it to the top right of your screen, allowing you easy repeated access to it as you work on this project. Step 1 is to simply go to Lion's Arch, go to the south end near the Fractal's entrance, and speak with the Mist Stranger. After finishing that dialogue, the next step is to speak with gathered allies to hear their plans. You can do this in 2 ways. Speak with the NPCs around the Mist Stranger, or interact with the Fractal Recursion Conference glowing icon a few feet away. If you do so, it will teleport you to a private instance where you can talk with the NPCs needed for this step and also find some bonus lore items as well. Next up, complete a Fractal in quick play mode. To do this, open the group finder in the top left corner and navigate to Fractals. At the time of recording this step can only be done in Tier 1 Fractals, but that may change in the future. In the Tier 1 Fractal section, the one titled Initiate Scales 1 through 25, there is a Find a Fractal Quick Play group icon. Using this throws you into a Tier 1 Fractal with 4 other people. If you are new to Fractals, don't panic. They have made these very, very easy to give you time to get used to them. If you go down, the Mist Stranger will help you up, and the bosses are simplified greatly. If you later decide to do higher tier of Fractals, the bosses will regain all of their former strengths and abilities. At the end of your first quick play Fractal, make sure that you grab the loot if you do not have auto loot, and you will obtain a pair of Agony Torn Gloves. Next up, you will need to do 3 recursion achievements. The first recursion is to gather 150 fractaline dust. A few notes on this. The dust does not show up in your inventory or wallet. When you loot it, it will immediately credit toward all the achievements that use it. So, you can just track one of those achievements to keep an eye on how much you have. You get 4 to 6 dust each time you do a quick play Fractal. The more dust for many... Redo. And more dust for many various achievements such as some world bosses and doing specific fractals that ask you to do. Once you have 150 dust, talk to the Mist Stranger again. Then get 300 dust. You're not starting from 0 here. After you have 150 dust, you will be 150 out of 300 for the second step. And talk to the Mist Stranger again. Then get 450 dust and talk to the Mist Stranger again. You may notice text on the steps that say to wait until Fractal Recursion Week 1 ends or something similar. If they leave that text in, know that this has already happened. It was a time gate for when these first came out. There is no longer an issue to worry about here. Go back and talk to the Mist Stranger one more time after getting the 450 dust to get your legendary gloves. Or do that yourself, Noxxi. After you have obtained these, you will need to choose light, medium, or heavy armor. If you would like to also get the other 2 armor weights that you didn't choose, speak with the Mist Stranger again. They will have a new dialogue. Is there any way I can get another set of gloves? This will open up a shop window that sells the other 2 armor weights of gloves as well as a bunch of infusion options. We'll come back to these. Let's focus on the armor weights for now. Each of the 2 legendary glove armor weights that you did not obtain will have the same price tag. Let's go over what these require. Gift of Magical Prosperity. This is made by combining the following items in the Mystic Forge. Gift of Craftsmanship. This is purchased from many NPCs for 50 Provisioner tokens. If this is your first time ever needing Provisioner tokens, basically you talk with various NPCs and give them items they want in trade for the tokens. I will include a link to the wiki page for this if you would like to get a full list of these. Many were added in Secrets of the Obscure that can trade for common materials such as Elder Wood and Mithril that you may find easier to do so. Just a moment. This is to remind me to put that into the video description later. Okay. Where was I? Muck, you might want to slip in a mention of your fractal guide when describing the fractals and talking about moving up. Yeah, I could try to put that in somewhere. I could just put it in the description, honestly. Okay. 9 Mystic Clovers. For a new player, the easiest way to obtain these is from the Wizard's Vault. If you're more experienced and have already used those up, you can get clovers from many different sources, including strike mechanics, including strike merchants, fractal merchants, raid merchants, PvP, and World v World reward tracks, crafting them out of mystic coins, and many more. Gift of Condensed Magic, made by combining gifts of blood, venom, totems, and dust in the Mystic Forge. Each of those 4 gifts can be crafted by an artificer, huntsman, or weaponsmith, or by Lear in Secrets of the Obscure. You will add a small fee for having him do it. Basically, combine a bunch of types of blood to make the Gift of Blood, and so on and so forth for each of these 4 items. Then combine them all in the Mystic Forge for the Gift of Condensed Magic. Gift of Research. 250 thermocatalytic reagents bought from merchant NPCs near crafting stations. 500 hydrocatalytic reagents bought from the same NPCs, but instead of buying with money, you buy with research notes. If you need help on obtaining research notes, I have a small guide I will link on this topic in the description down below. And lastly, 250 exotic Essence of Luck. A reminder on luck, a level 1 artificer character can combine small amounts of luck into larger amounts. So to obtain this, you just save all of your luck you get for a time and put it into your bank. Then have your artificer combine and condense it into the exotic version. Throw all of this stuff into the Mystic Forge to get the Gift of Research. Then throw the Gift of Craftsmanship, Clovers, Gift of Condensed Magic, and Gift of Research into the Mystic Forge to make the Gift of Magical Prosperity. Gift of Mighty Prosperity. Gift of Craftsmanship, 9 Mystic Clovers, Gift of Condensed Might, and Gift of Research. The only item different in the Gift of Mighty Prosperity is from the The only item different in the Gift of Mighty Prosperity from the magical one that we just made is the Gift of Condensed Might. For this item, you will need Gift of Claws, Scales, Bones, and Fangs. Again, each of these can be made by an Artificer, Huntsman, or Weaponsmith, or Lear in the Secrets of the Obscure for a fee. All 4 of these combined in the Mystic Forge makes the Gift of Condensed Might. The Gift of Condensed Might, the Clovers, the Gift of Craftsmanship, and the Gift of Research combined in the Forge will give you your Gift of Mighty Prosperity. What guide is he making? The Legendary Gloves that just came out. 200 icy runestones. These are sold by Rojan the Penitent next to where you fight the Claw of Jormag. This dude has a monopoly on this service. You cannot get these anywhere else. They cost 1 gold each, so that's 200 gold. Fractaline Spark. After you get your first set of gloves, you will unlock an achievement called Incursive Investigation Infinite Recursion. Each time you get 150 Fractaline Dust, you will get a Fractaline Spark, then the achievement will reset. Another way to get the Spark if you wish to is to get the exotic quality Infinite Mist Omni Potion from the Wizard's Vault and trade it for a Spark. Note, if this is your only Mist Omni Potion, I do not recommend this. It is way too good. Only do this if you have a duplicate of it. I do not know if the Omni Potion on the Wizard's Vault will be there in the future, but it is at the time of recording this. Once you have the Gift of Magical Prosperity, Gift of Mighty Prosperity, 200 Icy Runestones, and a Fractaline Spark, you can come back and buy another armor weight of the Legendary Gloves. If you wish, you could do this process twice to get both of the armor weights that you did not originally choose, and thus have all 3 of them, light, medium, and heavy. Let's talk about the colors mechanic on the gloves and the infusions. By default, when you get the Legendary Gloves, they will have a pinkish color in the sockets on the back of the hands. When you unsheath your weapon, the glow will move to a part of the weapons. This can vary based on weapon's skin. If you wish to, from the Mist Stranger, you can buy agony lenses that will change the colors, add more colors, or remove the colors entirely if you wish. A few notes on this. If you transmute the gloves to a different graphic, the glow will not work. The agony lens infusions do not have to be in the gloves. You simply have to have the infusion equipped somewhere and the gloves equipped. Historically, infusions with the same exact name and stats would not graphically stack. So if you bought 6 blue agony lenses and have them in all your pieces of armor, I believe only 1 would show on the weapon. But if you get 1 blue, 1 red, 1 green, etc., you should be able to combine the colors if you wish to do so. Another trick from infusions of the past is to have lenses of one set of colors in your weapon and lenses of a different set of colors in your other weapon set, so the aura changes whenever you weapon swap. The cost of each lens is 10 gold, 30 ectos, and 1 Fractaline Spark from the earlier mentioned repeatable achievement. Note, if you only want agony resistance, getting a +9 agony resistance infusion from the trading post is cheaper. But if you want the +5 power for each slot as well, these are one of the cheapest options available to get that, at the time of recording this video. Remember, once you unlock the gloves, they will go into your legendary armory and can be used on every build template of every character that can use the same armor class, light, medium, or heavy. Remember that I have links to all of the steps in the description down below. Use them if you need more details. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like for the YouTube algorithm, comment if you have any questions or if you know any tips and tricks I didn't share, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more content. Another massive thank you to the supporters on Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube who keep the channel alive. And if you're interested in becoming one and getting more videos and perks, there's a link in the description. Shilling complete, thanks for listening, and happy slapping. And then Noxxi. We are going to put a meme here. There is a meme that is from the movie Robin Hood Men in Tights, where a guy says, "I challenge you to a duel," and he pulls off a silk glove and he slaps the other guy. And then the other guy pulls up a metal gauntlet and goes, "I accept." Clang, and slaps the guy with the metal gauntlet. And I was thinking we could use that, but maybe put a purple glow on the gauntlet, like it's legendary, or put the icon for the new gauntlet over the gauntlet, something like that. But I would like that be there. And okay, that is it for the script reading. So now we need visuals. All right, chat. So Noxxi already has a lot of the visuals for this guide because the entire process where I was making my legendary was recorded. So we have most of it. However, I'm going to skim back through this script and I am going to find some other stuff here. So first off, Noxxi is going to need footage of me doing the talking animation. And I am going to do that inside the Fractal room because it just feels appropriate. Link to the Robin Hood scene. Is that the one? Hang on.
I challenge you to a duel. I accept.
Yeah, that's it. Awesome. I'll put a link to that in the script. That is the one. That is the one. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Dual meme. Okay. Love that movie. It's a good movie. Okay. Where do we want to do our talking thing? Light's kind of weird there. All right, light's better in that direction. Not really. Let's see. Put the bird away. Bird. I wonder. I'm gonna test something. So if I unsheath my weapon, the glow moves to the weapon, and then if I do the talking animation, the glow is gone from the gloves because the weapon is still out. So if I do that, and then I do slash talk, now the gloves are glowing. Okay. Alright. Where is the button? I don't use this one very often. That's the one. Okay. So this one is... nothing else is on the overlay. So, first we are going to record a few seconds of video footage of the guy doing the talking animation. And tick, 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 tick. 3 more seconds. Okay. And now a different angle. Maybe try to get those blue gloves in there. And 10 seconds. If you wear the gloves but also an outfit, does the glow show up? I highly doubt it, but I haven't tested. And boop. No green screen. No need for this. The gloves don't show, but the glow shows. Oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe a further away one. All right, last one. So 10 seconds of this. Okay. All right, so now we've got footage of him doing the talking animation. So skimming through this, why do you want legendary gear? So Noxxi, for the why do you want legendary gear, where I'm comparing different pieces of gear, you could reuse those few seconds from a previous one. Actually, I don't know, do I have any Ascended gloves? Hang on. Let me check my bank. I probably have some weird Ascended stuff in here. Yeah. There we go. Healer's Chest of Gloves. Well, no, Healer's Chest of Gloves aren't going to have Berserker stats, so that kind of takes the point away from it. Yeah, muck it. Okay, yeah, let's just use the comparing the Ascended to Legendary stats from a previous video. We can just, like, reuse that. All right. Legendary gear, every piece. Oh, yeah, I talked about using the gloves in multiple templates. So, like, here's a template, here's Acacia, and then, like, here's a template, there's Acacia in the Legendary Armory, and then here's a template, and then there's Acacia in the Legendary Armory. So, like, you know, there's a little visual example of being able to use it in every set. I talked about going to Incursive Investigation. I think you've already got footage of this, but just to be safe. So that's Incursive Investigation right there. I talked about clicking the little eye to track it. The eye is, you're going to have to get that from the previous footage because the eye is no longer visible here because I've already completed it at this point in time. To get started, go to Lion's Arch. All right, so we're going to need to show the map because there's going to be noobs that have no idea where this stuff is. Anytime I record a guide and I am not very crystal clear on where to go, I always hear about it. Are you recording for YouTube? Yeah, I'm recording for a guide on the legendary gloves. Okay, so first step is to go to the Mist Stranger. So, all right. So here's the world map. Here's Lion's Arch. And then right down here, go to Fort Mariner Waypoint, and then down here. And here's the Mist Stranger, okay? And talk to him, and that'll trigger the thing. And then after showing them where to go, you can use the older footage from when I was doing this if you need to. Go to the NPCs, interact with the Fractal Conference thing is over there. So here's the NPCs, there's the conference, and you could show the conference from the earlier footage. Lower items, Fractal Quick Play mode is LFG. Looking for group. If you would, Noxxi, don't... can you just blur this window? So like, you go click LFG, window opens, blur this window. I don't really care that people show my, know my name, but my friends list is already broken. So just blur this whole window and then go to LFG and then fractals and initiate. And then there's quick play right there. Okay. So there's footage of that. Matter of fact, you go down, and a stranger will help. At the end of your fractal, grab the loot, you get the gloves. There's footage of me getting the gloves. I believe that was from Volcanic. Next up, you'll need to do 3 recursion achievements. Okay, and... Okay, so there's first recursion, second recursion, and third recursion. Okay, so there's those. Skimming the guide, you may notice text on the side says wait till week 1 ends. Okay, so let's... Hold on a sec. I messed up my place over here. Okay, so I mentioned wait till week 1 ends. So if I go to here, right here, so like wait until week 1 ends. So just do like a red underline here to show what I'm talking about as I say that this might not be an issue in the future. Okay. When you get fractaling dust, it doesn't show up in your inventory or wallet. It just counts on the achievement. You can just get footage of that from any of the times I got dust. When you loot it, it will immediately craft toward the achievement, blah, 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 blah. Week 1 ends. Go back, talk to the Mist Stranger. You get your gloves, yay. Choose light, medium, or heavy. And then if I talk to the Mist Stranger and say, can I get another set of gloves? And show me what you have, then there's this window that is talked about in the guide. All right, Gift of Craftsmanship, 9 Mystic Clovers. Okay, so the Gift of Magical Prosperity and the Gift of Mighty Prosperity. Let me open this up here. So we're gonna have a few, let's see, can I do dark mode on this? All right, hang on a second. Gift of Magical Prosperity. Okay, so here's Magical Prosperity. And then, Gifts of Craftsmanship, Mystic Clover, Condensed Magic, and Research. And I'm going to open each of these so that you've got footage of each of these recipes. Gift of Craftsmanship comes from... Oh, maybe I can't keep it on dark mode. Okay, it's being stupid. All right, whatever. And then, there's Prof tokens for the Gift of Craftsmanship thing and talking about all of this. And Gift of Condensed Magic is right here. There's footage of that. There's like the Lear recipe and there's the normal recipe. And then I talked about like combining a bunch of different types of bloods. So there's like an example of that. And Gift of Research. I talked about the thermocatalytic and hydrocatalytic being from a merchant. So I need to get you footage of that. So we're going to run over to the Traders Forum and show that. Let's see. Do any of you? Nope. I think I have to talk to one. I think this character is a huntsman. Huntsman supplies. Soon to do. Okay, there we go. So there's thermocatalytic and there's hydrocatalytic. So that one's money. That one's research nodes. Okay. All right. Anything else from this one? Exotic Essence of Luck. Okay, so I talked about how you can take old luck and combine it. Let me go over to Spooky Muck. That one's my artificer, and I should be able to show that. Is this the easiest legendary to get in the game? The first set of gloves from this is by far the easiest legendary to get. Second and third, maybe not. Okay. So, let me go over here. All right. So, artificing, search luck, and say, like, I can combine 50 luck into 100. I can combine 10 into 50. I can combine 100 into 200. Okay, so those are some example of, like, combining small lucks into larger amounts of lucks. Okay. And swap back. All right, so Gift of Craftsmanship. Let's see, 9 Mystic Clovers. Okay, when on the Mystic Clovers, I talked about you can get them from many sources, including Strike Merchants, Raid Merchants, Fractal Merchants, PvP Reward Merchants. We already recorded that in the Mystic Clovers and Mystic Coins guide that we did, Noxxi. So if you just want to use that footage rather than having me re-record bouncing all over the world, that would save some time. So you can use a snippet from that. Gift of Mighty Prosperity. I don't know if I showed that yet. Gift of Mighty Prosperity. Okay, here's that one. And then I mentioned that the only new thing on it is the Gift of Condensed Might. And here is that. There's the recipe for that. And there's the Lear recipe for that. Okay. 200 Icy Runestones. All right. Let's go and get that. And once again, we want to show exactly where the NPC is, even on the world map, because people complain. All right, so let me get over there. Hopefully, I know he's not always selling. It depends on what's going on, so hopefully he currently is. All right. Yeah, okay, cool. So, please make sure to show, there's lines that just show this map, Frostgorge Sound, Earthshake Waypoint, zoom in here, and here's the guy, and there's the runestone. Show all of that, please, so that they have nothing to whine about. Okay. And next up was the Fractaline Spark, and you should already have footage of that. I mentioned the Omni Potion trading in. I did do that today. No, sorry, I traded that in days ago. Wait, no. I obtained the Omni Potion days ago. I traded the Omni Potion for the Spark today. And then, just briefly showing it, there's the Omni Potion on the Wizard's Vault. Muck is still on, is he okay? I'm normally on it this time. I've been for years. Okay. Let's see, once you have all these gifts, you can buy the other armor weights from the gloves. If you wish to, you can do this process twice to gain both of the armor weights that you did not originally choose, blah, blah, blah. And then we talk about the color things. Okay. So, for this part, let's show this right here. So, we got, currently, there is pink ore there. That's the default. And then I've got blue in the right one. And the reason I have blue in the right one is I have Azure Agony Lens right there on those pants. That is also proof that it doesn't have to be in the gloves to count. So there's that. And then when I unsheath my weapon, you saw a burst of blue and red at the same time. And then when I weapon swap, you can see there's blue and red on both of those. So there is that. I've also been told by people while recording this that it also works on outfits. So let's do this one. There's that. So if you would, Noxxi, there's no part where I mention this, but at some point, can you just show footage of this and just have like text on screen that says glow also shows through outfits, exclamation point. All right, so there's that. Okay. And is there anything else? I talked about stacking infusions and stuff like that. I talked about the price on the trading post, so you need that. So if I search +9 on the TP, you can see that that's the price right now, which is cheaper than getting the other one, but the other one has stats on it. Remember, you unlock the gloves. It goes to your legendary armory. It can be used on all your characters. Yep. Links down below. And then plug the Patreon, plug the Twitch, plug the YouTube. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. All right, Noxxi, I think that's everything. If I missed anything, please yell at me like usual. Thanks, Nox. All right, chat. I think at this point, I've given our wonderful Hungarian video editor everything she needs to put together a fantastic guide. So I think she has all the pieces, and she now has to put it all together in a beautiful fashion. And that project is done. And that is a little bit of a weight off my shoulders. Feels good, man. Feels good. What was up here? I did not have these unidentified things up here. There was some... Oh, it was that. That was up there. Champion's Rest. Does she edit lots of YouTubers' videos? Noxxi has multiple clients. I would say I'm the only, like, person who's been a client every single month for years. So I think Noxxi gets a majority of their income from me, but Noxxi still also does odd jobs for other people. One that I like to brag about, because I think it's awesome, is, do any of you know Zizaran? He's like the most well-known Path of Exile content creator. Noxxi did one of his intros. And Zizaran has his own editors, but they couldn't do what he wanted, and he ended up getting Noxxi to make the, to make it. So, yeah, Noxxi occasionally gets odd jobs from other folks, but I think I'm the primary regular. Wait, what? Someone just whispered me, are you the Mukluk? I wanted to say I love your videos and streams. Random running into you, greetings from Germany. Yeah, it's me, LOL. Pleasure meeting you. How much does a video cost or secret info? No, it's not secret info. So, if it depends on the time. Like, if you're like, hey, Noxxi, can I pay you to edit this for me? And Noxxi looks at it and goes, yeah, that'll take like 2 hours to do. And then Noxxi will give you a rate. But if you're like, hey, can you edit this? And it's going to take like 3 work days, it's going to be a larger rate, right? Because it takes more man hours. Now, Noxxi has basically given me a flat rate, and I've given her a raise like 20 times. But it's like, I pay her a flat rate each month, and then Noxxi edits as much as I can throw at her within a certain number of hours each week. So I can basically just constantly throw things in her inbox, and Monday through Friday between hours X and Y, Noxxi will work on editing those items. And that's it. So that basically kind of leaves the ball in my court for I need to keep Noxxi busy or I'm paying Noxxi to just chill. So I try to always have something, even if it's just like some funny clips to edit for like YouTube shorts. I try to always have something in Noxxi's inbox because otherwise, you know, I'm paying for nada. So that's how it is between the two of us. But if you were just getting like an odd video here or there done, then it would be different. Like, for example, there's been some videos that Mighty Teapot has used and Guild MM have used for like special events and tournaments, and Noxxi edited those, and those were kind of like, you know, one-off jobs. Muck is a slave driver? I don't believe so, no. Oh, man. Dude, me and Noxxi, neither of us are like... Let me give you an example. I didn't hear Noxxi's voice for 2 years. I worked with Noxxi for 2 years before I got on a call with them. That's how unprofessional we are. Like, in the same Discord conversation, I'll be like, can you edit this? And they'll be like, yeah. And then a minute later, Noxxi's like, look at this highly inappropriate meme. And I'm like, well... like, it's in the same convo. No, we are very unprofessional about it. When Muck takes a break from streaming, Noxxi gets a break. Oh, there you go. I mean, Noxxi takes weekends off. At Mukluk, like how Nintendo is using their lawyers, only Noxxi is actually useful and amazingly skilled. Oh my god. If she's Hungarian, feed her. Oh my god. I said Hungarian, not hungry. Oh, man. Could you get this done in a day or two? The gloves? Yeah. Yeah. Your first set of gloves is just grind a whole bunch of the easy fractals that are only a few minutes long. Yeah, you could knock it out in a day or two if you just went ham on tier 1 fractals. Not a bad day job if you're good at it. Nope. Nope. The Noxxi is really, really good at the edits. Yeah, I think Noxxi used to work at like a factory doing... I don't know what they were doing, but Noxxi used to work at a factory in their hometown. And then switched over to editing. And when they announced on, I think it was Twitter, they were like, hey, I'm looking for clients. I would like to swap to editing full time, but I need clients to be able to do it. And I was like, yo! And they're like, why are you interested? You edit your own videos. I'm like, yeah, and I hate it. I would like to not do that. And they're like, well, why are you so excited to get me to edit your videos? And I was like, because I've seen your work from other stuff. Like, that's your resume, and I know you know this stuff. Plus, sometimes it works out, chat. Like, because Noxxi knows Guild Wars 2, I occasionally, I mean, I'm almost never wrong, right? But occasionally I'll be like, oh yeah, and blah, 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 blah. And then Noxxi will be like, hey, I was editing this, and this is mistaken. And I'm like, what? And Noxxi's like, yeah, it's actually this. And I'm like, oh shoot, okay, let's fix it. Like, for example, at one point in time, I thought Doom stole Grinth's job. It's the other way around. Grinth stole Doom's job. And I mentioned that in a video, and Noxxi's like, no. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you said it backwards. It's the other way around. I'm like, oh, whoops. Are drops still going? No, I think they ended, yesterday. They were going for a week. They ended yesterday. So, yeah, having, an editor that also knows the content is nice. But occasionally, you know, like when Noxxi, for example, like all the other game reviews I do, Noxxi will edit those and doesn't know anything about the game, so I have to extra explain stuff for those. Like, I'd be like, okay, Noxxi, when I mention this, I'm talking about this right here, because, you know, I have to teach Noxxi the stuff to teach y'all the stuff. Hey, Mike, I know you got a page dedicated to community what to plays, but is Baby Steps on your personal game radar at all or not? I've never heard of it, Reckless, so I don't currently know what that is. Time zones must be practical, also for efficient work. Yeah, so Noxxi is not working at the time that I am live with streaming with you guys. Because of the time. So basically, like, I go to bed, and then when I wake up, she's finished a day of work. So if I'm like, hey, can you change this? Usually it's a do this, you know, and then I get it back the next day. There is exceptions. Sometimes like, hey, can you make this change? And she's like, oh, yeah, that'll just take 5 seconds. I'll just do that right now. You know, and it'll be something like that. It's like that moment the supervisor knows how to do the job of everyone below them. Kind of. But yeah, no, like I can teach people basic editing, and I've got some videos that do that in DaVinci Resolve. But in like all the crazy tools that Noxxi uses, it's a lot more than what I can do. As I was self-taught for a few years, and I made it to a certain skill level, and she's way above that. Hey, Muck Chat, sorry it's me again about the class. What's up? My main is Guardian at the moment. Do you reckon I'll be fine with it? I saw many recommendations about Necro. Guardian's fine. Every single class in the game is solid. It's just a matter of, do you enjoy playing that? Like Thief is good. I don't enjoy playing Thief much. That's just a me thing, right? It's not you, Thief, it's me. So whether or not it's good for you, that's just going to depend on your personal preference. Muck is having Guardian deleted. No, I tried. It didn't work. Antiquarian lols. Yeah, well, I mean, Antiquarian is just one elite spec. Alright, hold on. Let me put this back. Shoot, what hammer was I using here? Oh, wait, it was Gavel. That was it. And then these... Hold on a sec. Oh, what's happening? Okay, there we go. That's weird. This one was Verge. And this one was Verge. Okay. Oh, and then my gloves. Transmute my new legendary gloves into my old legendary gloves. Shoot, what are they called? Envoy something? I think that's our boys. Do they spike? Yeah, they spiky. That's it. That's my faves. Okay. Which video was it where you saw Noxxi? You asking, like, which video of Noxxi's was it where I was like, oh my gosh, I want that editor? Hang on. It was... What was the name? It was a tournament that Teapot was running. And I saw the video, and I was like, oh my god, this editor's really good. And then it was after that video that later on Noxxi said looking for work, and I was like, yo, pick me! Shoot, what was the name of that tournament? It's not MAT. It was something else. Ah, there it is. Masters of the Arena. Okay. Alright, hang on a sec. Alright, so this video was basically where I first saw what Noxxi could do. The question mark team. How old is this? 5 years. This is from 5 years ago. But you get the idea. I'll link it, and you know, feel free to sub to her YouTube if you like her stuff. But this was the first time I saw like Noxxi kind of flex in terms of editing, and it was sometime after this that Noxxi basically put on blast on like Twitter and stuff. And I try to follow all the other Guild Wars 2 content creators I can, and I was following Noxxi. And Noxxi basically put on blast like, hey, I want to quit my job. I hate my job. I want to do editing full time, but I need customers. Is anyone interested? And I was like, pick me, my lord. And Noxxi's like, why are you so hype about this? And I was like, because I've seen what you can do. I was like, look, I hate editing my stuff. If I can afford your work, I would love to work with you. And then, you know, the rest is history. But that was the first time I saw him. Yep. And they do other client work, so if any of you need something edited, Noxxi does like one-off jobs for all kinds of people. Around Tyria is one of the best Guild Wars 2 videos ever. Yeah, hold on. Let's see, Noxxi YouTube Around Tyria. I know the exact transition you're talking. Hold on. Oh my god, we're just gonna watch all these Noxxi videos. That video has one part in it, flexing and taking the stuff that's in my head and making it work. It's so good. It is so good. I love it. It's not often I watch my own videos more than once just to make sure that they're okay and don't need any stuff changed. I've watched that one a lot. Can I have the link of that? You absolutely can have the link of that. There you go. Enjoy. Played 1,000 times. Mike, I've been trying out that range quick and tamer earlier. It's a blast. Thanks again. I'm glad it worked out for you. All right. With that, chat, I am out of time. I gotta wrap up the morning stream here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed the content creation. I got a lot done today. Got another legendary guide on the way now. As always, please hit that follow button if you're on Twitch. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Here's links to my 2 YouTube channels if you want to check those out. And a special thank you to our dear patrons. They keep this channel alive. I could not do this without them. There's a link to that in the chat if you want to be a supporter. And lastly, that little plushie ad that's on the side of the screen. Your daily reminder, if you're interested in getting one of these little dudes, supports the channel. It's really well made, it's good quality. It's got a Velcro potion bottle in his hand that you can pull out of it, and it's got worldwide shipping. It is only available for 7 more days, and then possibly never again. So if you want to support the channel and just get something fun, time is running out on that. And that's it, shilling complete. Let me find someone to raid who is doing Guild Wars 2 stuff on the Twitch side of things. Let me see who we got right now. Ghoul X Ghoul. Okay, I don't know these folks. It's a duo stream. They raided me the other day, and their people were really nice. So I am going to raid them back. This is possibly one of the biggest raids that they've ever had. So be good, chat. Use your raid emotes. Be nice. If you don't like them, that's okay. We got different tastes. Just politely leave if that's the case. But I'll see you guys over there, and I will be back later tonight for the evening Guild Wars Tuesday and the evening giveaway for those of you who want to join me. See ya!
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
That's